I've got Devin Gibson, national champion, national runner-up, and we've got NCAA playoff football for you here on ESPN, and it's going to be a great one. First round of the NCAA Division II playoffs. University of West Florida Argonauts are the host here today. They come in 9-1. Coming off a tough loss last week to Valdosta. They've got a rematch, a regular season rematch against North Greenville, a good football team. They got off to a tough start, but they have been great. Conference Carolina's champion. You've played against in this series before. Argos have dominated it, but it's different today.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, first round of playoffs, you have no idea what to expect. I mean, 2017, we went on a Cinderella season. I mean, this could be North Greenville's chance to do that same thing. You know, I mean, you're just blessed to be in the playoffs and be able to, you know, play another game. There
have been some wide margins in this series, but there have been some close ones, including a regular season matchup earlier. 25-17 was the final score of that one. That was up in Tigerville, South Carolina, way back in September. We'll talk about that throughout the broadcast today. But Argos had to hang on. Dylan Ramirez is a fantastic quarterback for this Trailblazers team, and he almost led a stunning comeback against the number 3 team at the time in the country against the Argos. And it came down to one play. Triple zeros on the clock. They said his knee was down. He completed the pass. We might have gone to overtime. Coach Nate Garner comes in, first season with North Greenville. Former NFL player, 7 years with the Dolphins. He was the offensive line coach, your former position at Limestone University. When they closed down the whole college and the football program, obviously. He's taken over this team, and they have played all the GSC teams. Now, they lost to Delta. They lost to Valdosta and West Allen, of course, the Argos. But outside of that, they've been really good, and they were competitive in those games.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, the GSC, you try to say that the GSC is the standard of Division II football. But, I mean, the conference they're coming from, they've got Wingate, some of those North Carolina teams, and, I mean, really just phenomenal competition up there.
They beat Pembroke twice in the regular season. Your former coach, Pete Shinnick, had coached and beat him in the conference championship game. So they're coming in with a lot, kind of, feeling good about the way they've played lately, and they'd love to pull off the upset here today on Penn Air Field here in Pensacola, Florida. We got temperatures in the 70s. It's overcast. There's some wind whipping around. There's a lot of storylines to go in this game. Marcus Stokes is the GSC Offensive Player of the Year in the Gulf South Conference. Dylan Ramirez, the other quarterback, he's the Offensive Player of the Year in Conference Carolinas. You got both teams, 15 all-conference guys for the Trailblazers. The Argos had 21. There's a lot of talent on this football field. Let's put the football in the air. The Argos will take the kick. And it'll be taken deep in his own end. It's Kendrick Watkins-Hogue on the return. Gets past the first man, has a seam, out to the 20, to the 30. He's got to beat the kicker. Gets to the outside. He's up the side, to the 50, to the 40. They're going to get him and knock him out of bounds, but that's a great return to get things started. And the Argos have great field position. Special teams comes up big, and then I look back, and sitting inside the Argos 20 is that little yellow hanky.
And we've talked about that before. The Argos just trying to battle the penalties, just shooting themselves in the foot. We'll just kind of see what happens with this one.
Situation where Kendrick Watkins-Hogue has just started returning kicks along with Jay Sharp, the running back. Jay's a little bit banged up. He's been the main return man for the Argos for the bulk of this season. But Watkins-Hogue, a transfer from Wayne State, he's been really good. How about Marcus Stokes? Up to that, those numbers are not quite updated yet. More than almost 2,900 yards. He's up to 28 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. He has been fantastic. As I mentioned, the GSC Offensive Player of the Year. He's also a Harlan Hill potential candidate, but he's going to have to start a little deeper in his own end. You get that penalty on the Argos, and they will start from their own 10 instead of deep into Trailblazers territory.
Yeah, they're behind enemy lines with this one.
Mental mistakes. The Argos are 90 yards plus in penalties per game. That's usually not a recipe for a team to be 9-1. They've somehow found a way to kind of overcome some of those deficits with the penalties, and here they'll get going on offense. Stokes will bring his offense out. TJ Lane's the running back with him. You've got Javon Swinton at one wide receiver, wears number 5. Number 3 is Corey Scott. Big tight ends, Jake Robinette, number 80, and the receivers, Makai Stevenson on the other side, number 14. They'll pull it. RPO finds a man over the middle, had a Swinton open, but a great defensive play. Flying in there to break up that is Bradley Russ Martin. Where's number 3? He's out there with his twin brother, number 5, is Brooks Russ Martin. Coach Nate Garner told me as we talked during the week, loves these two guys. They are playmakers. They're going to get after you. They both came and transferred from Presbyterian College. They're not the biggest guys on the field, but they are very tough. So incompletion brings up 2nd down and 10. Argos bring a man in motion. It's the big tight end, Robinette, towards the line of scrimmage. They'll run a stretch play, and it's going nowhere. Great job by this Trailblazers defense. They drag down T.J. Lane inside the 5.
Yeah, another play right there by number 3. I mean, they snuffed that out from the jump. UWF didn't have an answer.
It's the Argos who are amongst the national leaders in tackles for loss. In fact, the Argos defense is number 2 in the country, but it's the Blazers who come up with this one. Put the ball back to the 3-yard line. Loss of 7 on the play. Not the start you wanted if you're Coach Caleb Nobles and this Argos staff. Big 3rd down and long, 3rd and 16 from the 3. They'll check out of the first play. Go back to the line of scrimmage. 4 wide out, single back in the backfield, sits on Marcus Stokes' right shoulder. See if this Argos front 5 can hold up. Stokes back to pass, pocket holds. He fires it, has a man in the middle of the field. Tyree Holloway gets away from the first man. Out across the 30 to the 40, has a block in front of him. He's up the sideline. He could go. A flag is thrown from behind. He's going to score. It's going to come back. Trevon Durden gets caught, number 1, with a block, and this one is not going to stand as a touchdown. What a huge play.
Yeah. And again, I mean, Will, we talk about how many guys both of these teams have all conference. Whenever you get that much talent on the field, you really have to be disciplined and not get these flags. I mean, we're talking about losing so much field position on the return, and now we're going to lose a touchdown off of it.
Probably lost about 100 yards on 2 consecutive penalties.
Within 2 minutes of the first quarter.
Looks like the penalty was at the 50, which is right where Durden, the receiver, and he was tied up with the defensive back. Defensive back went down.
Number 1.
And, I'm not going to say he drew
10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul
for the Argos. So
the result of the play
to the
is a first down.
Their own 40. The good news is it's a first down, and you're out of the shadow of your own goalpost.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, move the sticks. I mean, yeah, hopefully that one doesn't come back to bite UWF towards the end of this game.
So the penalty, it'll go out to the 40. It's a gain of 37, and it's a first down. First down of the game for the Argos. They'll line it up here to go again. We'll set the starting lineups as we go through. Stokes rolls out to his right, has a man over the middle. It's Mekhi Stevenson. Not enough for a first down, but a great gain on first down. And Devin, you got to come up with positive plays on first down. I like a 2nd and 2.
Yeah. 2nd and 2. I mean, if UWF can stay ahead of the sticks, I mean, they'll be able to. All the plays open up whenever you stay in front of the sticks, right?
Absolutely. The big offensive line across the front. Isaiah Walker at left tackle. Colton Beasley's back out there today. Jabari Edwards, Travaris Edwards, Levi Johnson. Those are the big bodies up front. And they'll try the right side behind those guys. T.J. Lane across midfield into Blazers territory. Give him the first down as he will get knocked out of bounds. Let's see where they finally spot this. But you come back after a couple throws, go to the running game. The Argos have been good running the football, up to 170 yards a game now. And T.J. Lane has been the catalyst for that. All-conference performer, came into the game with 700 yards and 9 touchdowns on the season.
Yeah, it looked like that was designed to be an inside run, but T.J. did a great job of reading the defensive end and bouncing outside.
So they'll go with another run, kind of middle of the line, not much there. Good job up front by this North Greenville defense, holding him to about 2 yards. That first down was from the Blazers 48. Give him the Blazers 46, a short gain of 2. Lane averaging about 5 yards a carry. So a good job by this Blazers defense of stopping him up. Jalen Mayala is one defensive end. The other is Damon Early. They're both good, especially Early, number 8. And then the inside, you've got number 83, Jaquel Scott, and then the big defensive tackle, Isaac Hawkins, 5'10", 282. He's a plug, as they say.
Solid boy, bowling ball.
Your cornerbacks, number 4, Jarek Foster. Number 1, DeAndre Glover is the other corner. Will set the rest of the defense after the play. They bring Corey Scott in motion. They'll run it again, right side. Good patience by Lane. He gets to the outside, but a nice job of coming up, making the tackle. There's Foster, one of the corners, getting to him. It's going to be a positive play, but it's going to set up a 3rd and about 5, 3rd and 4 for the Argos.
Yeah, well, they're kind of – North Greenville's running this 3-3 stack defense. They got 6 guys in the box. UWF is trying to match that 6th guy with the tight end, bringing him into the run game. But it seems like North Greenville's doing a great job at disrupting the offensive line.
We do have another member of our broadcast crew. Jordan Glass is on the sideline for us, working both sidelines today. We'll check in with him when we get an opportunity. They'll bring a man in motion on 3rd and 4. Stokes will keep it. The RPO, and he's got room inside the 35, near the 30. Flag flies behind the play. We'll see what the call is. We do have a ref mic. And we will check the call, but for now it's a first down Argos, but it may be coming back. It may be another one, and that, if so, D, that's 3 now on the Argos, and they've been costly each one.
In the first drive.
The Argos have been really kind of punished a little bit by penalties all season long, and it's something as you hit week 11 for the Argos that you feel like they're the 11th game of the year.
Offense number 52, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, 3rd down.
Yeah, they get another call on the offensive line. Kamar Epps gets hit with this one, and instead of a first down, you're looking at 3rd and 10 now.
Yeah. Yeah, so right now the play sheet narrows way down. You know, there's only a certain amount of plays that you can run at 3rd and 10. And North Greenville, studying tape, you know, they can kind of expect what's to come.
So back at the 42-yard line, Stokes will look over. This just changes the play call a little bit. He'll fire it middle of the field. Oh, threads it through, finds Corey Scott, who's first team all GSC, and Corey Scott gets the first down. What a throw between 2 defensive backs.
Yeah, I mean, the pass protection started to collapse a little bit on him. He got the ball out there. I mean, like you see right there, right between 2 defenders. I mean, potentially a dangerous throw or a really, really good throw.
Yeah, one or the other. You're never quite sure, but it ends up being enough for the first down. Give him the 36-yard line. And the Argos will have a fresh set of downs right there. Stokes with 3 receivers, 2 near side of the field. Pulls it, fires it, has a man. Looks like the throw was over the head of Tyree Holloway. Might have had a little contact from George Wilder. One of the safeties had his arm around Tyree's waist, but no flags fly.
Yeah, it looked like it. I mean, UWF's really jumping into this play action early. I mean, that play right there, they pulled the right guard and the right tackle to try to shift the linebackers over and open up that seam down the middle.
The DBs, we talked about the corners, but the linebackers, Ty Cade wears number 16. He plays the weak side linebacker. Middle linebackers, Bryson Oliver. Matt Howard is the rover. He wears 0, Oliver 38. We've already seen Wilder back there. Brandon Teamer wears number 9 at a safety, and the other safety that you'll see some and hear his name, 14, is RJ Glasgow. 2nd and 10 now. Back to pass. Stokes looks to his right. He's going deep. He's got a man down there. If the ball gets there, it does. And they're going to be an offensive pass interference right there. You're going to get the receiver, in this case Durden, got the 2-hand shove on the DB, and the Argos continue to rack up penalty yards.
Yeah, that's another touchdown that's going to come back for UWF. I mean, it's just pretty blatant. We're going to check the replay here in a second, but
yeah, you could see that one from up here, from where we are at our perch for sure, and the referees won't miss a call like that. Wow, I mean, the first possession, the Argos, as we have a scoreless game, 9:59 left in the first quarter. But they've already unbelievable. They stole
offense
the football.
number 1.
The only positive that's coming from this drill with this UWF drive is time management. I mean, just crunching the clock.
2 potential touchdowns off the board.
Yes.
We saw one to Tyree Holloway, and that one was going to be a touchdown to Trevon Durden. I don't think he needed to shove the DB. All he had to do was just stop and come back for the football.
Yeah, and the other thing that we're noticing here, Will, is it seems like these penalties are coming on these big explosive plays, which is what UWF is known for, big chunks of ground.
Back it up to the Argos 49 on the 15-yard penalty. Stokes will pull it. He got pressure coming, fires it. Oh, Jake Robinette had it. Takes a big hit at the end of the play from Brooks Russ Martin. Goes as an incompletion, and all of a sudden you're looking at 3rd and 25.
Yeah. Yeah, and that, I mean, he had good protection. It was a good ball. I mean, a good catch. I mean, Jake knows that whenever you catch the ball coming across the middle like that, you're most likely going to get hit. Just couldn't haul that one in.
First possession of the game for the Argos. 4 penalties for 45 yards already.
Yeah.
And that's not even considering the field position they've lost on some of those calls from where the flag was thrown. So I don't know what you have in your bag at 3rd and 25, but talking to Coach Nate Garner leading up, the North Greenville coach, they've struggled on 3rd down to get off the field this year. See if they can do it here. Over the middle, Durden's got a nice gain. It's going to be 15, 16 yards, but it's going to leave them short. I think you go for it here with the kicking issues. We'll talk about that here in a second, but not really going to get a ton of field position if you punt the football here.
No, and Will, this just goes back to that return that got called back. They start on North Greenville's 30-yard line. They've gained half the field already. They scored 2 times over. Yeah, it looks like they are going to go for it here on 4th.
He picked up a good 16 yards there, so here you go on 4th down. First time the Argos are going to roll the dice here on the season. 57%, not bad on 4th downs, 12 of 21. They need one here to keep this drive alive. Back to pass. Stokes looking to his left, fires. They're going for it all right here. Tyree Holloway's got a defender inside. It's one of the Russ Martin twins. It's over on downs. The Argos give up the football after holding the football for more than 6 minutes on the first possession of the game.
Yeah, and that's just good coverage. I mean, it seems like number 3 is playing all over the field for North Greenville. I mean, he's been a firecracker this first drive.
They kind of play that rover position, which is a hybrid safety and linebacker type position. So they'll flip it over. Argos have one of the best defenses in the nation. North Greenville has a fantastic quarterback. As I mentioned, the Conference Carolinas Player of the Year, Dylan Ramirez, leads his offense on the field, averaging 28.4 points a game, 7-4. They've been great in the back half of the season. They'll get an opportunity here from their own 35 with 8:53 left as they start their first offensive possession. Back to pass. Has time, fires it, has a man in the middle where the Argos have been vulnerable this year, and he'll go for a first down. Positive play on the first throw of the game as Ramirez finds Amari Coates and gets it out to the 48-yard line.
Yeah, that's a good job by Dylan Ramirez hanging in the pocket. The offensive line gave him plenty of time. Even when the pocket started to collapse, he stuck in there and made a good throw.
Region Bennett is the running back, wears number 2. You've already seen Coach there. Eric Rashid wears number 1 at receiver. They've got some good ones out there. Fires it over to the left side, far sideline. Ball comes out at the end. No reception as he was looking for Tavon DeRiesma, and DeRiesma just couldn't hold on. It was a good throw, but maybe a little tall for the wide receiver.
Yeah, and that was really good coverage there by UWF. Number 2 back in coverage,
Tony Newsom, yeah. Tony Newsom's had a great year. Rod Webb's had a great year. Up front, Ethan Lett is the left tackle. John Deal's the left guard. Nate McGee, the center. Simon Peterson, the right guard. And Joseph Jordan, the right tackle across the front for the Blazers. They'll go 2nd and 10. Ramirez hands it off. Big hole on the left side as they go counter and come up with a nice positive play to set up a 3rd and short. It was Deshaun Tompkins at running back who's checked into the game. Give him a good 8 yards before Juice Williams can bring him down. They get down to the Argos 44.
I think we're going to see a lot of stretch zone run plays today by North Greenville just because UWF does have such a dominating interior defensive line.
3rd down and 2. It's an opportunity for the Argo defense to get off the field against a team that in North Greenville, it's 43.6 on 3rd down. The Argos only give up 25%. They're 4th in the nation, and they will not give it up here. Or did he get there? Looks like they're going to mark him
Maybe
a little short. So they'll hold him. And you may ask, how's North Greenville on 4th down? 66.7% there, 14 to 21 on the year. So we may see both teams here with a 4th down play. This one's a little bit different than 4th and 9.
Right.
This is 4th and 1 from the Argos 43.
Yeah, and Dylan Ramirez, I mean, props to a quarterback. I've talked about it week in and week out. I love seeing a quarterback that's not afraid to run the ball. I wouldn't be surprised if they went right back to him.
They're checking the play sheet here. Play clock, still plenty of time, but down to 12 now. They'll set up here. They'll go power. 1 running back in the backfield with Ramirez in the gun. Everybody else is tight on the line of scrimmage in a V formation. Ramirez will keep it. Can he get there? Yes, he does. And inside the 40 before they can bring him down. Dylan Ramirez, 6'2", 215. He's a big body in there. Argo sacked him 7 times in the regular season game back in September.
Yeah.
But right now they're kind of imposing their will up front.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, North Greenville's offensive line is looking really good, making good pockets, able to create some seams. Yeah, UWF has to come up with an answer.
Give him a gain of 5, 1st down. This time pressure gets to him, big hit, and you're going to get a late hit. I think they're going to get a rough in the passer as Ramirez got hit as he let it go. Protecting the quarterback here in the Argos may have cost themselves more yards with penalties. And we'll wait the call from the officiating crew here. So the Argos.
Personal foul.
Roughing the passer. The Argos get hit with another penalty.
Defense, number 0.
Kobe Clinton.
15-yard penalty, automatic. 1st down.
Yeah, Kobe's a veteran player, too. I don't know if the moment just got to him. But he was kind of throwing his hands up like maybe obviously, no one thinks they should get the penalty. But good break there for North Greenville.
So inside the Argos 25 to the 23 of the 15-yarder. So almost on the red zone, but this time they'll get him. No flags fly. Did the ball come loose?
I think we had a fumble. I think that's UWF ball.
I believe it was Eli Webb who got to him, and the Argos forced the first turnover of the game. And they're going to get the football and dodge a bullet here.
I mean, talk about a momentum killer right there, Will. I mean, you get a big penalty, get into the UWF scoring zone. I mean, it's another thing that we talk about, how these penalties can kind of set up plays for guys. And like I said, that defensive line for UWF is just making it hurt.
First forced fumble recovery. The Argos flip it back. They'll start at their own 23-yard line. A little bit better field position than last time. With 6:12 left, no score here in the first quarter of this one. Argos back on offense as Stokes brings the offense back out. Pulls it out, a little RPO, got pressure coming, fires off the back foot. It's got Tyree Holloway, but it's picked off. Back-to-back plays, back-to-back turnovers from that free safety, or from his corner position. DeAndre Glover makes the play as Stokes off the back foot with pressure coming right, up the middle.
Yeah, it looked like TJ Lane tried to get a piece of him as best he could, but
that's a tough throw to make with pressure. That's one that, sometimes you just got to say, I'm going to throw this football away out of bounds with the pressure coming in there. But Glover's on the sideline hurt after the play. You see a shot from our great camera crew here. And this thing it's gotten wild all of a sudden.
Yeah, I mean, Matt Howard, 6 foot, 215 guy coming in to try to get after the quarterback. It's tough for a running back to block a body like that.
Absolutely. Howard off that defensive, his rover position, sneaking in there on that pressure. They'll bring a man in motion across the set here. Back at the 35 again is where they started last time. Argo's run defense says no thank you. Juice Williams and company get in there to make the play. Really solid effort by the guys in blue. Argos, by the way, are wearing the royal blue uniforms, white numbers, white helmets for our radio audience. We're doing a simulcast here today, so folks on the ESPN Plus side, we are also on ESPN Radio. So we gotta describe it for them. For the visitors, white uniforms, red trim, white helmets with some red and black striping for these two teams. It's a loss of 1 as the Argos get their first TFL here. 2nd and 11 coming. Ramirez back to pass. This one's low. His knee was down, so that's going to be a loss on the play. In college football versus the NFL, for those that don't know, when your knee goes down, you're down. You don't have to be touched. In the NFL, you get up and try to make something happen with that. Back-to-back negative plays, and all of a sudden, North Greenville's thrown it in reverse. They find themselves at the 31 facing a 3rd and 14. This is the down and distance that Argo's defense would love to lick their chops and get after the quarterback right here.
Yep, it looks like they're showing pressure. Trips to the right.
The flags fly. Did the Argos jump? Because Ramirez was throwing it like it was a free play.
Yeah, it looks like that might have been Kobe.
And if so, another situation where you're just hurting yourself with penalties left and right.
Offside. Defense, number 8.
Yeah, they're going to get Colin Shaw.
5-yard penalty. Repeat, 3rd down.
For jumping off sides. And it gives them 5. It's not going to make it. It's going to make it 3rd and 9. So you get a little help with that. It's not too bad a penalty, but still, at this point, you've got to start cleaning this up. The Argos are killing themselves with mental mistakes in that situation. It's a big 3rd down, and whatever Ramirez is doing with his snap count and his claps has got the Argos front 4 a little jumpy.
Yep.
Bennett in the backfield moves to the right shoulder of his quarterback. May have had a receiver jump. They don't call it. Ramirez slides up in the pocket. He's got room. He's going to get the first down. Out across midfield, they'll tackle him from behind, and nobody had containment on the quarterback. He's going to move the chains.
Yeah, I mean, you drop back. I mean, that's the only thing that is unfortunate about UWF's defense struggling with a running quarterback. And obviously, Dylan Ramirez is not afraid to tuck the ball and run. Showing us his legs right there.
Gets into Argo territory, so threatening again, this time down to the Argos 47. Fresh set of downs after the nice run, 17 yards by Ramirez. Oh, big hit right there. Flying up to the football. Trying to see what number that is right there. Number 6 is going to be Warren Conway coming up to make the tackle. Walker Robinson involved too. Short gain of 2 to the 45-yard line. It'll be a 2nd and 8.
And this is where it's going to be interesting to see how North Greenville can keep these sustained drives, especially with the interior defensive lineman. UWF likes to rotate guys, keep guys fresh.
Argo's across the front. We'll set the defense for you here. Quick throw out. Nice one into space. Sam Washam with the catch. And what a nice play. They're going to get the first down. They're close to it. Ramirez says, you know, you're going to bring pressure. I'm going to get the football out of my hands quickly. Good job by this Blazers offense. First down.
Yep. Yeah, really good read there. I mean,
give him the 37, gain of 8. They needed 8, they got 8. It's another first down. This will be the 6th play of the drive now. They have back-to-back first downs, or 2 first downs strung together in 3 plays, and North Greenville is on the move. Ramirez back to pass, got plenty of time. This time, he was going to slide up in the pocket, and hello, Colby Taylor and Kevin Roberts. Ouch.
Yeah, so that's the 2nd sack of the quarter for this UWF defensive line. Well, actually, he's a linebacker, isn't he?
It was both linemen.
Yeah.
It was Kevin Robertson. It is Kevin Roberts usually across the front to start for the Argos on the defensive line, and they're going to rotate a ton. It's Lorenzo Payne, Juice Williams, Kevin Roberts, Colin Shaw. 3 of those guys, all conference first-teamers. Tony Newsom at one corner, whereas number 2, Rod Webb, is the other corner. They're both fantastic. Number 25, your linebackers, Kobe Clinton, GSC Defensive Player of the Year. Walker Robinson could have been. Cam Anderson, Warren Conway will play the outside linebacker position. And we'll talk about the safeties in a second. They'll run it here on 2nd and long, and they're not going to get much at all. Great job by this Argo defense of stacking up. Not Bennett, that's Rashid, the receiver. They put him in, gave him a carry, and the Argos give him nothing.
I think North Greenville is going to have to start working to the edge as far as the run game, or they're going to become a one-dimensional offense. It's kind of shown a little bit early here that those interior guys for UWF are not going to let stuff slide within the tackles.
3rd and 17, big play here. The safety, all-conference C.J. Fearon, whereas they're 22, Chester, and number 10 is Jamari Dickens at the other safety. Here we go, big 3rd down play. Outside of field goal range right now, North Greenville needs some yards. They're going to run a little screen to Washam. He's not going to get much at all. Great job of flying to the football. Byron Puryear lost his helmet in the play but made the tackle. Good to see Big Byron back for the Argos as he was out most of the season with an injury, and he makes an athletic play from his defensive end position.
Yeah, and you love to see that. I mean, a guy that doesn't have much to show for coming back, but, I mean, just a hard worker and obviously showing his playmaking abilities on the field.
Gain of 3. The screens are dangerous, and it's a good call in that position, I think, by the offensive staff for North Greenville. And Dustin Noller is their OC. He played quarterback for Limestone in a playoff game right here in 22.
Yeah.
And Coach Garner brought him with him, so I was like, I know that guy. I know Dustin Noller. I remember that game well. So the Argos will force the punt. It's going to send Tony Newsom back to his own 10-yard line. Tony Newsom has been very solid return man, has a touchdown on the season, but averages about 8 yards a kick. And I think we'll take a timeout here. Might be a good opportunity to take a break as we're near the end of the quarter here. We will. Argos are scoreless with the Trailblazers. With 57 seconds left, we break here. This is NCAA football on ESPN. We are back with you, Will Kennedy and Devin Gibson. This is NCAA first-round Division II playoff football. The University of West Florida is our site in Pensacola, Florida. We got to score this game. Crazy first quarter, 57 seconds left, and the Argos are getting ready to get the football back as the Trailblazers are set to punt the football and give the Argos an opportunity to get back on offense. It's been a lot of stuff happening in the middle of the field and not necessarily
on
any
either
points
end.
yet.
Yep.
Punting for North Greenville. They're going to go with the little pooch. He's a good one. Brian Frey sends it, and it's caught, and fair caught inside the 10 by Tony Newsom. We have a third member of the broadcast team. Jordan Glass is down on the sideline. Let's get an opportunity to check in with Jordan.
All right, guys, one thing that's been a problem for the Argos most of the season has been penalties. So far, that's been a big problem for them early in the game today. Coach Noble's very upset with the team and the officials on the sideline here. We'll see if they can get it cleaned up.
Thank you, Jordan. Yeah, got to clean things up here as the Argos will start this drive inside the 10 at the 7-yard line with 50 seconds left. This is the third possession for the Argos. I mean, we had a game last week here, the regular season finale for the Argos, in which both Valdosta, who's in the playoffs, and the Argos had, 5-6 possessions between the two.
Yep.
8 in one quarter. I mean, this is a little bit different here. But the Argos have an opportunity to be the first team to get on the board. They'll throw a slant. Nice job defensively from the corner position of coming up and making the play as Jarek Foster. That's great coverage.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like an easy slant inside, just try to get off of the goal line a little bit, give him a little breathing room. But, I mean, a good ball, but just, like you said, Will, excellent coverage.
Yeah, Watkins Hogue ran the route well, but that was what, number 4-on-4 violence right there. Great play. Matching up between those two, it'll bring up a 2nd and 10 from the 7. You really want to get some room out of your own end zone for sure, so wouldn't be surprised to see a run here. They will. Stretch play to the right. TJ Lane gets past the first guy, gets tripped up, but that's a nice play to give yourself a third and really manageable.
Yeah, and especially the inside zone seems to have been getting stuffed a little bit, so it's good to see the UWF offense adjusting to that and able to stretch the ball across the field.
Basically out to about the 15 as we're winding down on the end of the first quarter, just across the 15, so a gain of 8. It'll be a 3rd and 2, so big play coming here. This defense for North Greenville allowing about 39% on third down conversions as they'll keep it. Stokes is going to get the first down and not much more. And then you get a little bit of that scrum. He'll get him out to the 20-yard line, and that's going to end the first quarter here. We'll take our end-of-quarter break. No score. Argos have a first down, though. This is NCAA playoff football on ESPN. We're back with you here. Will Kennedy and Devin Gibson on the call. Jordan Glass down on the sidelines for us. Argos have a first down to start the second quarter at their own 20-yard line, and an opportunity to try to get a drive going here, try to find some points. They'll run it, bounces over from the right to the left. I believe that's Jay Sharp who's checked into the game. No, it's still TJ Lane. Again, the 0 and 8 on the running back that are roughly the same size. Not sure how much we'll see Jay Sharp, who's the backup running back for the Argos today, for those who are wondering. Been a little bit banged up. Is in uniform, but not quite sure what his load will be today. Maybe more of TJ than normal. So gain of 6 out to the 26 on the first down carry. 2nd and 4. Back to the run game. This time tripped up. I think he caught his own blocker. Patrick Delacour, one of the receivers, looked like he tripped over his ankle.
Yeah, it looked like he could have had the edge right there, too. Again, we've talked about, I mean, it looks like the inside zone is just not there for UWF today. North Greenville interior linemen are doing a great job plugging up holes, so doing the best they can with trying to bounce it outside. It looks like Jay Sharp has come into the game now.
Loss of 2, backs it up. It's going to be 3rd and 7. And yeah, Jay Sharp does get his action here, checking into the game. Sharp comes into this game. He's had a good year, too. 473 yards, 3 touchdowns. Can catch it out of the backfield as well. Kind of even in a lot of the season as far as carries. TJ's had more yards. Stokes chased out of the pocket, fires it. Great defense. I thought he may have come up with an interception. There's one of the Russ Martin twins getting in on it again. This time Brooks breaks it up. The Argos are going to have to punt the football.
Yeah, and again, I mean, those Russ Martin boys are all over the field today. They can keep that up. That'll be a great game for them.
They number 3 and 5 so far, right? I mean, these DBs especially, those two guys from kind of rover, hybrid linebacker DB, and then we've seen Foster and Glover already make some great plays for this North Greenville team. And the Argos pick up 1 first down, but they're going to have to punt the football. So we had the Argos turn it over on downs their first possession. Then we had a fumble recovery, interception, now back-to-back punts for these two teams. Mike Shine boots this one a little bit short, taken at the 40 by Washam. Washam across midfield. North Greenville gets about 13 or 14 on the return. They're going to start inside the Argos end once again. And right now, you know how this works, Devin. You've been on the other side of these games before where you're the team who's not expected to win. You're on the road.
Yep.
In fact, Devin Gibson, folks, won a national championship, played in a national championship. We'll take a break and finish on the other side. 0-0, 13:28 left in the first half. This is NCAA football on ESPN. We're back. First down, ball at the 48-yard line. Two men come in motion together, which always makes me think there should be a penalty, but it's not. It's legal. And they'll run it. Oh, great play. C.J. Fearon, or is that Rod Webb, flies up. Oh, my gosh. Running right off the field to the tent. Rod Webb straight into the training tent after that hit. Something with his arm, but he comes up and makes the first hit. Causes a 2-yard loss, but your starting corner has now gone back into the medical tent. Ball's at the 49. It'll be a loss of 3.
Yeah, that play was snuffed out from the jump. That's a big loss for UWF with Rod Webb.
Let's go back. Rolling out to the right. Fires it. Nice throw by Ramirez. Finds a receiver sitting down. It's Rashid. Kind of just found that spot in the Argos defense and settles down, makes a catch inside the Argos 40 to the 38. Gain of 12.
Yeah, that's a great job. Dylan Ramirez rolling out. Soft coverage by UWF. Throws the ball in there. I mean, the textbook throw and catch.
They'll come right back. Rashid comes in motion. First down into Argos territory. Ramirez throws it in the flat. Oh, big time hit. Rod Webb back on the field, just went to the tent, came back and lit up Rashid. If this was the NFL, that's one where somebody up top would say, you need to check that young man, make sure he's okay.
Yeah, a solid hit. I mean, a big momentum shift there.
That's football for you, right? Guy comes off holding his arm, comes right back out, and as they say in this part of the country, lays the wood on him a little bit there.
Yeah, that would have been a penalty on Sunday all day.
Big time hit out to the 42, back out to the 42. So loss of 4 on the play, 2nd and 14. Oh, ball's on the ground. Muffed exchange. Great job of coming up and recovering that as Tompkins as the Argos. That ball just kind of bounced around all the blue shirts, and Argos defense is saying, hey, let's get up on the home side here. Crowd has filled in a little bit here. There's some good support across the way from North Greenville. A little bit of a struggle. You know, the student body here gets the week off next week. There's a good group of them, and definitely a good home crowd. It wasn't as busy out front as it can be here normally at the University of West Florida, but that's a big loss, by the way. Back out to the 46, so another loss of 4. Back-to-back losses of 4. Now you're looking at 3rd and 18.
Yeah, North Greenville's had some pretty good plays, but they just haven't been able to put something together to have a sustained drive yet. Looking to see that from Dylan Ramirez here.
Ramirez claps his hands, flags fly before the play even starts. That usually means it's on the offense, but we'll wait on the call. The Argos defense, after giving up a little bit here, is kind of, tightened the screws and said, okay, we got to play a little bit better.
Number 74.
I mean,
5-yard penalty.
Feed off the offense.
3rd down.
Feel off what the offense is doing. I mean, they need that, right? I mean, you can't – we talk about the 3 phases of the game. Haven't had much special teams. Haven't had a whole lot of offensive production. So it's only key that the defense pick up that slack right now.
There's a flag, and this time it was not on the Argos. It's on North Greenville for a false start on the offensive line. So back it up into their end to the 49. They'll run it on the 3rd and real long, and not much there at all. From his linebacker position, Warren Conway flies up. He's an all-conference performer as well. Conway makes the play, and you know what? That probably feels pretty good for Warren Conway. He played at North Greenville last year.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure that this one hits a little home for him.
Knows a lot of those guys on the other side of the football. So the Argos defense kind of stands up, makes themselves known when they need it the most, and they're going to have to punt the football. Newsom's going to come up and take this one, muffs it. Did he get on it? I believe he did, but man, that was a tough one. When you're running forward as a punt returner, those are always a little bit on the dangerous side.
Yeah, that's being an offensive lineman, I have a lot of respect for guys that return punts. Just being able to catch the ball first and foremost like that, but having opposite color jerseys running full speed towards you is a difficult task.
I think Adam and folks in the control room, I think Jordan Glass, if we can get him ready, he's got a note or two on the North Greenville defense, so let me know when we're ready for that. But the Argos will set up here on the 19-yard line, their own 19 to start this next possession. 10:01 left in the first half, no score. We've just been back and forth all the way. Argos will pull it. Little RPO, they'll dump it to Avery Giddens, the big tight end. Oh, ankle biter gets in there. It's one of the Russ Martin twins. I can't see if it was 3 or 5. I believe it is 3 flying
like
in there.
Bradley, Russ Martin.
Absolutely. Let's check in with Jordan down on the sideline for more on the North Greenville defense.
All right, guys, they say defense wins championships. So far in the first round of the playoffs, that's all we've got here at Penn Airfield. A great defensive battle, less than 10 minutes to go in the first half. Let's see which offense can find the end zone first.
The single back behind him is Jay Sharp, and the movement before the snap. Before that ball was snapped, I saw Jay lean forward a little bit, and the Argos are going to, you guessed it, add penalty number 7. So that'll be 7 now for 70 yards versus 1 for 5.
Yeah.
That's not a winning recipe.
No, absolutely not. And we've talked about just momentum shifts in these type of games where if North Greenville can go into the half tied up with the number 3 team in the country, 7 team, it's going to be a win.
Oh, they're going to feel very confident getting that football, as you mentioned, coming out. Now, I like 2nd and 7 a lot more than 2nd and 12. This makes it a lot tougher on your offense to sustain drives. Stokes will keep it parts like the Red Sea on that side of the line. That's a great design quarterback run. You get the penalty yards back and then some out across the 25. Now you got a 3rd and manageable.
Yeah, and that's going to be the key to UWF's run game, is getting Marcus Stokes as involved as he can be without taking too many hits. But, I mean, regardless, North Greenville has the defensive front to be able to stop the run. They keep sticking to this, 3-man front that they're running. Right now they just switched to a 4-2 box, so we'll see if UWF capitalizes on that.
3rd and 9. Let's go Wildcat. Snap it directly to Jay Sharp. He'll keep it. He's going to get across the 30 before he gets tripped up out near the 35. Nice little misdirection. Now let's give Caleb Nobles, the head coach of the Argos, and Donnie Baker, their offensive coordinator, some credit for that nice little call.
Yeah. Very good. I mean, pulling the left guard, the left tackle, coming around, sealing the edge. Jay Sharp able to read that and come up with a good play.
Back-to-back runs of 9 yards, and all of a sudden the Argos are in a position where they're on the move again. They'll bring Giddens in motion across the set. Tyree Davis is checked in, the big quarterback, the big freshman, cannot get going. Great job of flying in there to make that tackle by this defense from North Greenville. That's a little bit of another wrinkle that they just threw, bringing in the freshman quarterback who had a really good game here at home against West Virginia State in his debut. They used him as a weapon against Delta. Did not see him against Valdosta last week. And that's solid tackling by George Wilder, one of the safeties, 6-footer, 170. Gets in there on Tyree, who's much bigger than him. But that'll go for a loss of 2.
Yeah, great job reading that play, smoking downhill to make a stop.
So 2nd and 11. Technically, Stokes back to pass, looks that way, has Tyree Holloway. Holloway gets away from the first guy, can't get away. Oh, it's a face mask for sure from one of the Russ Martin twins. 4 flags come flying, and that's a pretty obvious one. And that was a tough one. Russ Martin was just trying to grab something on number 9.
Yeah.
And what he grabbed was the face mask. Those are big ones. That's a 15-yarder.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Tyree, 6 foot 180, solid receiver. He definitely is built like a 200-pounder. It's a very solid receiver. So
he put a little shake on him right there in the middle of the field. And I'll tell you, as a DB or a linebacker, when you're in the middle of the field with a quick receiver, that is a bad feeling.
Yeah.
And sometimes you do just reach for whatever is near you. In this case, he grabs that face mask. Yeah, Tyree has had a great year, all Gulf South Conference 2nd team for that young man who missed almost all of last year after puncturing a lung at Grand Valley.
There were 2 fouls, both by the defense.
Oh, double foul
Personal
on both
foul.
teams.
Face mask. Number 5.
Oh, they're both on the defense.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Number 23. Both penalties out of course from the end of the play. Automatic. First out.
There's a face mask and an unnecessary roughness. So this is going to be a big-time flip of the field inside the 30 after you chuck up all that penalty yardage down to the 28-yard line of North Greenville.
And we were talking about the Russ Martin twins earlier, being undersized, 5'7", 165, both of them relatively close to that. And being able to play Division II football at a high level, I mean, it's extremely impressive, but you have to have an edge. You have to have a little chip on your shoulder with that.
Definitely. Giddens comes in motion. They'll hand it off. They'll break it back to the right. Jay Sharp gets through the first hole, bounces off a tackle. Inside the 10, he's still on his feet, crawls down to the 5. What a great run as Sharp gets loose, and all of a sudden the Argos are on the doorstep inside the red zone, inside the 10. Now the question, Devin, becomes, they've struggled here a couple times this season.
Yep.
Where they've gotten down in this space, and it's been a little tough to get it into the end zone. We'll see what Coach Nobles and company dial up here.
Yeah, I would imagine, I mean, they're having some good success running the football. I would like to see them keep it on the ground, be able to keep that momentum up. It seems like the offensive line are churning right now.
Gain of 21 on that run, by the way, is that Jay Sharp did something. Kudos to the offensive line, then Jay Sharp did the rest. They'll pull it. QB run. Stokes tries the left side. They've scored with that a couple times in the last few weeks, including against Valdosta, but he's not going to find the end zone. He'll get 3 down to the 4.
Yeah, a little misdirection there, bringing Jay Sharp in motion, faking the handoff, and then keeping it to run off that left side. That's the kind of plays that I think are going to be able to be key down here in the red zone. 2nd and goal to go from the 4. The Russ Martin twins, by the way, Coach Garner tells me, can't tell them apart except for the numbers, is what he said. He said one's a little bit taller than the other, but even that's not enough. Argos look back to the sideline, look over at the big play call sheet. The big boys up front setting their blocking scheme here. As Stokes claps his hands, takes the snap. He's going to run behind Sharp, puts his head down, and Stokes is into the end zone. Touchdown Argos. Marcus Stokes is not maybe as big as Dylan Ramirez, but he's got good wheels, and he's a big enough kid at 6'2", 210. It's a touchdown. Yeah, I mean, that's a phenomenal play. Great job by the offensive line, you know, getting a good block up there.
Left
Jay
side
Sharp.
of that line, right? You got Levi and the Edwards, Jabari Edwards, the center. But a flag flies after the play, which usually means after they've already scored, it's going to be potentially, we saw a taunting last week. I'm not quite sure what the call, but we'll get it here in a second. But, man, again, you cannot hurt yourself on these extra points we saw last week. Probably the difference in a game here in which the Argos lose in overtime, lose out on an unbeaten season and a #1 seed in the region. A blocked extra point return for 2, that's the difference in the football game. It doesn't go OT if you get that right.
Correct. After the play was over,
and you don't think
personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 7. The penalty will be enforced on the try.
Yeah, and I definitely like that call by Coach Nobles to go for 2, especially because here within this last drive, they've been able to run the ball successfully. You know, using the running back as a lead blocker, having Marcus Stokes be able to fill in where he can. And the offensive line is just kind of gelling, getting their calls together. So I definitely approve the call.
I say if you just scored from the 3, why not, right? Why not come back and just go right back at it again?
Absolutely.
And they'll go Buffalo package. They'll go 2 tight ends in the backfield. They'll run in the middle. Easy money for T.J. Lane, and the Argos will lead 8-0. So what a crazy first quarter, back and forth. Lots of turnovers and some punts and, you know, a lot of stuff in the middle of the field. First time the Argos get in the red zone, first time they get inside the 10, they're able to come up with a touchdown. That could be huge in a game like this.
Yeah, and that'll be interesting to see how North Greenville can react. You know, if they can put a sustained drive together, get some points back on the board, and be able to go into the half with at least some sort of score and then get the ball coming out of the half. That'd be best case scenario for them now.
If you would have asked me before the game, you know, what it's going to look like with 5:14 left in the first half, I would not have said 8-0 as the score.
Right.
I felt like these two offenses had a little more in them, and it's been a variety of reasons why it has been a low-scoring event so far. But you got to take advantage of your opportunities. And the Argos defense rose up after North Greenville was on the move on the previous drive, stopped them, and when they were able to flip the field, and that's a nice drive. You're going to go 81 yards for a touchdown.
Yeah, and especially, I mean, playoff football between our region, it could go either way. I mean, this is not just a toss-up. I mean, it's a toss-up game between both of these teams. And, yeah, like you said, just expected the offenses to really come out and punch a little harder than they have.
There's still plenty of time for that to happen. I've seen games where it's scoreless at the half, and then you get a flurry of points. Tyler Patterson kicks this one off. Fair catch is taken, so North Greenville does not try the return from Amari Coates. They'll run their offense back out. And I feel like this Argos defense, right, you're going to have some momentum coming off your sidelines. And now for North Greenville and Coach Garner, you got to figure out here, right, 5 minutes left. It's a good opportunity. If you could go down and score, get the ball coming out of the locker room, get what we call that 2-for-1.
Yeah, that's going to be North Greenville's goal right here. Probably going to try to chew up some clock, not give UWF a chance to do the same thing, drive back down the field and get some points. But North Greenville's in a good spot here. They're still playing competitively. They just had some bad breaks with the penalties on that last drive.
They've been down to the Argos by 8 before, including the game up there a couple times in September, and had a chance to tie that one. Ramirez will hand it off. Not much going there as the Argos will stack up the run. It was really tough to run on the Argos way back then. As I mentioned, this Argos defense they'll get a short, actually no gain, maybe a loss of a half yard. This Argo defense coming into the game allowing 48.9 yards per game running for the other team. That's number one in the country, this defense. They are also, and they're tough against everything, third downs and scoring defense. They dropped a little bit after last week, but they've been, kind of a top 10 defense all year. Second and a long 10. They do not get to Ramirez. He fires the football, has a man. DB could not turn his head back. Chester Fearon, and it's a catch for Rashid. It's a big play to kind of get out of your own end right there.
Yeah, that was a great play by Dylan Ramirez, able to step up in the pocket, make a guy miss, and then lace that football down the sideline. Perfect pocket. Great game there.
When we say flipping the field, this is what we're talking about. It goes for 28 yards on the throw and catch, but all of a sudden you're out from your own 25 to the Argos 47. You're on the move with a little more than 4 minutes left in the half. 8-0 our score. Argos on top here on ESPN. They'll pull it. Ramirez back to pass. This time they get him. Man, a wave of blue shirts. And Coach Cavell Connor, the defensive coordinator, sent some extra pressure with the linebackers, and they get home with the front four as well. Felt like that. Literally, it's a joke. It's a cliche, but let's meet at the quarterback. About 6 Argos did right there.
Yeah, just have a little meeting right there. Offensive line just lost protection pretty early, collapsed. And it looked like that UWF had good coverage down the field anyways. So it seemed like they had that dialed up from the jump.
Third sack, loss of 7. Third sack for this Argos defense. So back it up to the 46. It'll be second and long. They'll run it to Bennett to the right side. Get a little bit, maybe a yard or two, but not much more. Now you're looking at a third and about 15 or so. This is where the Argos defense, starts licking their chops and thinking about getting another sack. But the danger has become when you're really aggressive defensively, sometimes if you don't get home on the quarterback, then you can get burned. And the Argos, I think back to a 3rd and 22 against Delta that led to a 86-yard touchdown. And you got to be careful here. You got to kind of play somewhere in between flat-out aggression and caution.
Right. Yeah, if you bring the house, then you become exposed on the backside. So
big play here, because if the Argos get the ball back, they've got 2 timeouts and more than 2 minutes probably after the punt, or around 2 minutes. They're coming, and they force the – if C.J. Farron doesn't get turf monstered, he would have his 5th pick of the season, because that ball was floated up. They got to Ramirez, and you can already see Ramirez, as we mentioned, very solid young man.
Yes.
But he's feeling it a little bit because he got popped right there after a sack 2 plays earlier.
Yeah, and that's what we talked about earlier, is trying to use him in the run game a little bit more. But, how much can you use him? You want him to be able to stay in the game and make the throws.
Brian Frey will come back out to punt again. Frey had a good one his first time. He's a transfer from Limestone University following his coach. The snap's a little low. Flags fly before. He got off a good kick. He comes in averaging about 42 yards a punt with a long of 61. We saw Newsom last time struggle.
Offense number 9. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Up a little bit and give the Argos maybe a little bit better field position. So move it from the 48 back to the 43. Special teams always plays a huge role in playoff games like that. The Argos bring a little pressure. Really nice kick. That ball way up in the air. It's going to go into the end zone, barely. That looked like that was going to be the old 1-yarder.
About a half yard into the end zone.
Wow. The Argos are going to get the football back at the 20 with 2:22 left. Deuces are wild on the scoreboard here as far as the time's concerned, but they've got 2 timeouts as well. And this is where you can kind of nullify that getting the ball out of the locker room for North Greenville if you're Coach Caleb Nobles and company by coming up with something here.
Yeah, and this is going to be North Greenville has a slight advantage just when it comes to scoring ports because UWF does lack a kicking game like we've talked about before. And they understand that, so UWF has to be able to drive the field and get some points here.
Come up with something here would be huge. They'll start at their own 20, coming off a touchdown drive that went 81 yards on the previous possession. Stokes with 4 wide receivers split out, ball near hash, single back in the backfield. He's going to dump it in the flat to TJ Lane, who's good out of the backfield. That's one of those, he kind of got him wrong-footed a little bit. If he leads him a little bit, he's got some room to run up the sideline, but you'll take a positive play, although it doesn't go for much at all. That could have been a big one.
Yeah.
Man, tough to have a lot of stuff happen and you pick up 3 yards.
Yeah.
Out to the 23.
All smoke and mirrors.
Now, really, I think TJ was expecting it on the left shoulder. It ends up on the right, and he has to kind of twist around a little bit. Stokes back, has pocket holds, fires it over the middle. Great strike, has a man out across the 40, across the 45. Could not see the number. It's going to be Corey Scott. And that's what he does best. I mean, you'll see him make great plays on the sideline, but middle of the field, not the biggest receiver in the nation, but I'd say amongst, if not the best.
Absolutely, yeah. And those are the guys that you really have to look out for. You know, we talked about the Russ Martin twins here.
Let's take a 2-minute break with the two teams. Argos lead 8-0, 1:56 left in the first half. This is NCAA playoff football on ESPN. Nice play. We're back with you. Argos with the football out at the 46-yard line. First down, 1:56 left. They lead 8-0 over North Greenville here. First round playoff game, NCAA Division II football. Stokes, this one, looking for that slant to Corey Scott again, gets batted down at the line of scrimmage. And Stokes is talking to his offensive lineman, Devin Gibson, alongside Will Kennedy here. Devin, you played on that offensive line. You got to keep those, you got to tie up those big defensive lineman's hands, right, to keep him from blocking those balls.
Yeah, it looked like Damon Early was the one that got up. I mean, it's tough to do that as an offensive lineman.
Without holding, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, that's just a great play, heads-up play by him.
2nd and 10 after the incompletion. No harm, no foul type thing. He just got a longer down the distance, back to pass. Nice pocket. Stokes gets flushed, stands in there, fires it, has a man. What a catch! Kendrick Watkins-Hogue, and he's going to go the distance. Touchdown, Argos. That is the best catch I have seen this season, hands down.
Wow. Yeah, it looked like a busted play there at the beginning, but like you said, Marcus Stokes able to keep it alive and find his man down the field.
I can't wait to see the replay on this one from the broadcast. As Stokes slid out of the pocket and then makes a throw. It's too tall for Watkins-Hogue. He says, no, I'll just go get this on my fingertips and come up with the grab. We're on ESPN. Sports Center Top 10? Maybe. Let's submit that now. Get in early, right? Get the votes.
Yeah, the early bid.
That one ends up being a 54-yard touchdown. Tyler Patterson on to convert the PAT. The kick is up, and it is good, and the Argos are out front 15-0, so that didn't take long. They got the ball with 1:56. 16 seconds?
Yeah.
Touchdown.
Touchdown. And that's the UWF offense that we're used to, big, explosive plays. And it just goes to show, I mean, once you settle down, let the penalties subside, you know, that's the kind of offense that we've come to expect.
54 yards on the throw and catch, and dynamic plays this time of season make all the difference in the world if you can come up with quick strikes. And now if you're North Greenville and Coach Nate Garner, you have the opportunity to try to go get something and get the ball out of the locker room. The only thing is, the Argos didn't call a timeout right there at all. So if you can't do anything offensively, they don't have three, they may not be able to extend you too far. But if you try to throw the football, incompletions, you got to be careful not to give it back to this offense.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Will. You're exactly right. Being able to manage the clock, able to get a score first and foremost. I mean, because they're still within – I mean, they're within two possessions, which they're about to get their first possession. They're getting the second possession coming out of the half. So, I mean, really trying to go into the locker room with at least a score.
Again, the Argos kicker, Brogan Wober, true freshman. There were two true freshman kickers the first time they played. And we haven't talked about North Greenville yet. When he gets his opportunity, we will. But Wober out with an injury for this one, so Tyler Patterson takes over the extra point duties. He does the kickoffs as well. Not quite sure why you called a fair catch on that one. He had room to run right there. I felt like Amari Coates. But they'll set up at the 25. Special teams makes a big difference in a football game like this, and the Argos have been really good on kick coverage except for one against Delta, but that happens from time to time.
Yeah.
You give up a touchdown here and there, but that drive was a quick one. The other one was 81 yards and took a little more time. This one goes a total of 4 plays covering 80 yards, 54 of it on the last play of that drive. On the throw to Kendrick Watkins-Hogue. Transfer from Wayne State, hasn't had a lot of action this year, but I remember in preseason, Coach Nobles and the offensive staff said, you got to watch this guy. He's electric. He's battled through a little bit of injuries, but he's a player, no doubt about it. So with 140, North Greenville gets going, and they're going to get chased out of the pocket and get collapsed. Lorenzo Payne gets his arms wrapped around, gets some help from Colin Shaw and a few others in there. And, man, that's a tough one to take right here. And, Coach Nobles says, I'll take the timeout right there. Now, I don't know. Do you run the ball twice and punt it? Because it's going to be tough. If you try to throw and come up with an incompletion, you're giving the Argos more time on the clock.
Yeah, and, I mean, I guess the question you have to ask is,
West Florida,
are you to be able to get a stop here?
Yeah, if you have to punt the football, I don't know that. You got to be careful with it here. This ball drops back inside the 20. It looks like it'll be placed around the 17 or 18-yard line. So a loss of 7 or 8. And so you're starting to see Dylan Ramirez has been good. He's 7 of 9, but the yardage, only 59 yards. We really haven't seen him be able to get the ball deep. He can't do that really against this Argos defense because of that pressure. They've had a couple nice plays, but, you don't get a lot of time against this Argo front four to stand back there and throw the football.
No, and this is where we've talked about they're going to have to – I mean, I look at the stats right here. I'm looking at -8 rushing yards for North Greenville. They can't become a one-dimensional offense. They have to be able to run the ball to support the pass.
The problem is going to be the fact that you said it's a 2-score game right now. Right about that range, maybe you can keep running it, but you get down any further than that, then all of a sudden the running game's out the window, and then you having to throw the football. That's not a recipe for Dylan Ramirez to stay upright for very long, unfortunately, against this Argo front four. The Argos, as I mentioned, top 2 in the nation in tackles for loss. They're top 10 in sacks as well. And that's not what you want to do, as an offensive lineman. Facing a front 4, front 7 like this is really tough with the way they blitz.
Yes.
Ball is officially at the 18. It was a loss of 7, another sack. And this time you try to run the ball and don't get much, and there'll be another timeout coming from Coach Nobles. So now with 1:27 left, do you throw it on 3rd down and risk potentially stopping the clock again, or do you run off 40 seconds and punt it?
And try to trust your defense to get the stop.
So this one really no gain on the run.
Yeah.
Maybe a loss, actually a loss of 1. So a TFL, so you've gone -7, -1, and now you look at a 3rd and 17, 18 yards, and I don't know right here. Discretion's the better part of valor, they say. Like maybe a draw.
Yeah.
Maybe a design QB run. And well, I don't know about that. I don't want to get that guy hit again. An opportunity to try to get yourself into the locker room without giving up any other points. And this game is flipped. I mean, literally, we're sitting here. Argo's getting the football with 10 minutes or so left. In the 3rd quarter, we got no score. They go on that first drive to get a touchdown, and it's really picked up in the last 10 minutes of the first half here.
Yeah, I think I don't know. North Greenville, like we've said before, they just haven't had the explosive plays today. I think a safe bet would be to run the ball, try to chop some of that clock up, and then trust your defense to be able to get a stop.
3rd and 17 technically here. Ball's at the 17-yard line. This is a big play. Single back in the backfield, 3 wide receivers. They have a tight end to try to protect. Ramirez throws it. He hangs it up. He got good coverage over here. Did he catch it? Yes, he did. Rod Webb had inside position. And Coach Caleb Nobles is saying that's offensive pass interference, I think is what he's arguing down here. But what a great play. Out to the 47, gain of 30 on the throw and catch. And all of a sudden, now you start thinking about with 3 timeouts left for Coach Garner, can we get points?
And that's the play that we were looking for from the Trailblazers, a big explosive play.
3rd and 17, and you come up with something. And this time, Ramirez does a great job of staying alive and rolling out of the pocket and finding Sam Washam again. Back-to-back throws to 24. And, wow, what a flip.
Yeah, the Tate Latillo of North Greenville right there.
No doubt. This is what defensively, the other side of the coin, you can't give up that on 3rd and 17. You got to get off the field at that point.
Yeah, especially with UWF burning both of their timeouts in hopes of getting that stop.
Gain of 15 on that one after 30 on the previous one. So 45 yards in chunks in 2 back-to-back plays. And now you're getting near field goal range. I may get to talk about the freshman kicker from North Greenville here in a second. At least some points before you go to the locker room, right? Ramirez back to pass. Pressure coming, fires it. What a strong throw. I tell you what, you mentioned a former Argo, for those that may be watching North Greenville, in a game against Valdosta in the 2019 run, you were on the team to the national championship. It was just throw it to number 88 over and over again, even on 4th downs. It's looking like that right now. Washington makes his 3rd straight catch, takes it to the 25, 13 yards.
Yeah, and this might be North Greenville's new attack. I mean, they may have to just play player against player, knowing that we're going to throw the football and, trust our guys to be better.
Rod Webb's going to have to find a way to get on Washam. Ramirez is looking to his right this time, fires in the middle of the field. Easy touchdown, Rashid. The Argos lost coverage there and give up easy one. And all of a sudden, North Greenville right back in the football game.
And this is exactly what North Greenville needed to happen. A little bit of time left on the clock for UWF. They've known for explosive plays, but getting a consistent drive, being able to put together some good plays, drive down the field, score before the half. Textbook, you couldn't write it up any better.
On to kick, it's Killian Bonner. He's from Ireland, a true freshman. He's the special teams player of the year in Conference Carolinas. Left footer from Ireland. I won't even attempt to pronounce the name of the town he's from. It's on the west coast over near Shannon, but he's on to kick it. Coach Garner says he just loves to kick the football. So Killian with his first opportunity here. Snap is down. Frey, the punter, holds it. It's up, and it is through, and it's 15-7. Man, it just got real.
Back to a ball game.
The sun came out, and now it's an 8-point game. And the Argos, this is what's crazy, though. No timeouts, but they're going to get it back with 50 seconds.
Yeah,
2 seconds.
Yes, exactly. I mean, and we talked about it before, just being able to get the defensive stops from North Greenville, slow that offense down. Now that North Greenville's offense has had some success, it's really going to be up to their defense to step up.
I will tell you, this is where having a quarterback like Dylan Ramirez, a senior, we saw him back here. We talk about this rivalry, this series, which Argos have won 7, all 7 of the all-time meetings. But you know, there's a close one in 2017 you mentioned. There was a close one in 2019, I think, where they came down and almost beat you at Blue Wahoo Stadium. Ramirez came in here in his first season and almost led North Greenville to an upset here on this field. It took a last-second field goal from Griffin Serra to win that football game, but Ramirez was great that day. I remember thinking, man, this kid's going to be tough to play the next couple of years, and you see why right there. So the 15-7 our score, 52.3 seconds left. Bonner gets into this one. Sun is in somebody's eyes. Watkins Hogue is going to take it. I think he thought about it. He'll take it out of his end zone, a little bit of a delayed return, gets past the first guy. He's got room, and he's quick. They'll get him from behind. If he could have hit that extra gear, I think he was trying to set up a move on the next guy. Great job by flying up from behind to make that tackle. Trying to see who number 21 is for them. If I got a roster here, I want to make sure that young man on special teams made a really nice play getting in there to the football. Number 21 is Peyton McBroom, a defensive back out of Greenville, South Carolina. That's a heads-up special teams play. Well, I always want to give the special teams guys kudos because some of them don't play regularly. And that play right there may have been the difference between 6 points and the Argos starting at their own 36.
Yeah, absolutely will. And that's the third phase of the game is special teams.
So from the 36, we saw them just go 54 yards in one play last time. Let's see what they got here. Stokes back to pass, fires it. Oh, what a great catch by Durden. It's not going to pick up much, but that ball, I wasn't quite sure the way it came out. Durden just snagged it out of the air.
Yeah, and other than the handful of penalties by Durden, I mean, he really has had an exceptional game so far.
That block, unfortunately was going to be a touchdown. The Argos didn't get anything out of that, put it out to the 39. It's a short gain, only 3 yards. But it sets up the Argos. It stops the clock. Most importantly, he got out of bounds. You want to work the sidelines here. You don't have timeouts. You could throw middle of the field, but then you have to run up and clock it quick, and you got to be careful with it. They'll fire it here. Durden fell down in his break. He was going to be north of the sticks by about a yard, but the turf out here is good, but we've seen a couple guys go down in situations already, so I'm wondering if it's a little bit – it's very humid here, as it's been known to be in Florida.
Oh, and it absolutely is. I mean, a little bit of collapse there by the offensive line. We need to get a couple of Mike Dillas back out there, and we'll be able to stand up to these guys.
One of the big boys that you played with back in the day on a great offensive line. I'll take a Dalton Simpler too if we're ordering from the menu.
Absolutely.
3rd and 7. Stokes back, fires. No, he doesn't. He had Tyree Holloway underneath if he threw it underneath, and so nice job by this Greenville defense. They're going to force a punt, so the Argos don't run much time off the clock at all.
Yeah, and now North Greenville, with the last drive that they were able to sequence together, has another chance to at least get in within field goal range, kick a field goal, and then they come out at halftime, could potentially go up.
Well, here's the crazy thing. They drove the field, didn't take a timeout, so he's still got 3 in his back pocket for Coach Nate Garner and company over there. His offensive coordinator, we mentioned Dustin Noller. Donnie Baker calls the plays for the Argos, and then J.R. Clark, the defensive coordinator, the opposite number across the way for North Greenville. Nice job by Clark's defense there. North Greenville takes the timeout because the Argos, on that punt, they were just going to let it run down. Or they're setting it up. I mean, it was an incomplete pass, so it is an interesting one why they took the timeout. Maybe they're thinking about, do we come after this punt or do we try to set up a return?
Probably. I would think that Caleb would maybe go max coverage here. But it also wouldn't surprise me if North Greenville brought the house. To try to switch that momentum.
You know what I would do? I'd just run a fake punt.
And that's why we're up here, Will.
Let Mike shine. Let Mike Shine get loose right here. So here we go. Mike Shine, who's been fantastic throughout this season. He'll step on to do the punting here for the Argos, averaging 43 yards a punt. He's got the hang time. He's a lefty. Gets into this one. Oh, it's beautiful. Hung up. Fair catch called for by Rashid at his own 15. So another one inside the 20, the 13th time this season for Shine. So now you're set up at your own 15, 16-yard line. You got a long way to go with 23 seconds. But you got a quarterback who's got the experience to certainly make something happen.
Yeah, and I'm not 100% sure what North Greenville, that freshman kicker, what his range is.
47's the long.
Okay, so, I mean, they really got to get, 40 yards here
You'd have to get.
50.
I would say you'd have to get to about the 30
to be able
to be able to do that.
kick.
So you got a long way to go. You're gonna have to pick
55 yards.
Yeah, some good yardage here. But they'll go trips near side of the field. Ball's on the far hash towards the North Greenville, the visitor sideline. Ramirez sets up, looks over the defense. Argos show no pressure. They're going to drop into coverage here. They'll run it. So it looks like they just say, we'll take it to the locker room. And it's going to be an interesting second half coming your way, as that'll be the last play here in the first half. The Argos will have the lead, but it feels like North Greenville's the team that's going to take the momentum into halftime, as they have scored a touchdown to cut it to 15-7. We got a lot to talk about at halftime. We'll take a look at the other games in Super Region 2. Take a look at some scores as everybody's playing here, all 8 seeds. Talk about the changes to the playoff format, letting 8 teams in now, where it used to be 7 back in the day. And we'll also get you some highlights and some stats here from the first half of this one. We got an entertaining football game. The sun is out, sun's out, guns out here in the booth. And the Argos lead 15-7. This is NCAA football, headed to the halftime show on ESPN. Welcome back into Pensacola, Florida, the campus of the University of West Florida, here on ESPN. This is NCAA first round Division II playoff football. Will Kennedy and Devin Gibson with you. We got a great game, 15-7 at the half. Homestanding Argos on top of North Greenville. This is the they don't rank everybody after you get past the first 4 seeds. The Argos are the 2 seed here in the region after missing out on the chance to be the number 1. And we'll talk about the scores here in a second. But this game, you can see how tight this region is. If North Greenville was, the 7 seed, theoretically, there's not a whole lot of difference between 1 to 8.
No, especially not in our region. I mean, like I said, whenever we made that national championship run, we got in by the skin of our teeth in 2017 and were able to make it all the way through the playoffs. So anything can happen with this format with these type of teams.
Oh, I started a thought earlier in the half, and then we had a really frenetic first quarter, but I was going to say, like, Devin was on teams in 2017 and 19, made it to the NCAA championship game in 17, came back in 19, won the whole thing. Never played a home game during those two playoff runs. So you've got a really unique window and insight into, for a team like North Greenville, what does it take to go on the road and to be able to pull off a win against a team that everybody says, you're not going to win that game?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about how they play. North Greenville approaches the game. It's nothing to do with who they're playing. It doesn't matter if it's West Florida or if it's a high school team down the road. I mean, North Greenville needs to approach the same game the same way every single time and just play their best brand of football.
Yeah, and so far you can see where experience makes a difference, even though for North Greenville, this is their first time in the playoffs since 2016. Conference Carolinas got back together. This is the first conference champion from Carolinas in 51 years. And North Greenville wins it. They go 6-0 in their conference. Now, they lost all four of the games they played against GSC teams. They lost to Valdosta, Delta, the Argos, and, of course, West Alabama. But they played some pretty competitive games, including back in the regular season against this Argo team, where they lost 25-17 at home. Feels a lot like that game where the Argos would get ahead, North Greenville would roar right back, and they had a chance in the regular season to potentially tie that game. So a lot of confidence that you carry into the playoffs, even though that was back in September.
Yeah, definitely. And North Greenville has to feel good about where they're at right now. UWF obviously being a very powerful team, very powerful offense, only allowing 15 points on the defense and able to get the ball coming out of the second half. If they're able to put a drive together and put up some points, then we're talking about a different ball game.
Both teams, we'll look at stats in the next segment, but both teams I thought really heated up the last 10 minutes. We saw the Argos offense catch fire, and then an answer from North Greenville they had to have, because if they're down any further going into the half, it changes the whole dynamic of the second half. Let's take a look at the rest of the region as far as the scoreboard is concerned, because there are other games going on right now. So Valdosta takes on Albany State. They're the number 1 seed. 30-28. That thing just moved to the fourth quarter. Man, what a football game. Albany State won the SIAC. They beat Benedict, the next team down you see in the championship game in the SIAC. The SIAC got 3 teams in, including Kentucky State you see down there. But right now, dogfight. Valdosta's a team that they've won 4 straight, including beating the number 3 team in the country here last week in Pensacola. And now, again, like you talked about, get in the playoffs, anything can happen. Looking to Blazers, those Blazers looking to pull an upset on the road and stay alive. Wingate, we faced them a couple times through the years. You played them a couple times, and they're beating former Argo assistant coach Ron Dickerson Jr. and his Benedict team had a great year, but they're kind of in a world of hurt up there in North Carolina, and they pronounce it Wingate up there. And so the Bulldogs are doing a nice job at halftime, up 17-0. You got the score here for this game. And then Newberry, whoever wins this game, will get Newberry next week. The Argos would have a chance to potentially, welcome them here if Kentucky State doesn't pull off an upset up there. 31-23 right now, so that one an 8-point game. Interesting, Kentucky State got in, and again, you don't put rankings on the other 4 teams outside of the top 4. They were supposed to play Delta State the last week of the season. Delta State was hanging on for playoff hopes. They were 7 or 8 in the region. Kentucky State was right there with them. Backed out of the game and played shorter instead, saying there was a contractual thing with Conference Carolinas, and so Delta State, Coach Cooley over there, was not happy, rightfully so, and so Kentucky State trying to make the most of their opportunity. A lot of people felt like Delta could have been the 3rd GSC team, and so you had 3 SIAC teams, 2 from the SAC and Newberry and Wingate, 1 out of Conference Carolinas, and they're a tough one here today with North Greenville. So it's interesting to see that scoreboard. So you'll see the top half of that draw, those 2 will meet, and then the Argos or North Greenville would have a chance to play the winner of that Newberry game. So, there's a lot going on. They all kind of play at the same time, and so we should have finals on those by the time this one is done. What are you looking forward to in the second half?
I'm looking forward to see how UWF is able to run the ball. I mean, we've talked about being able to complement the pass, complement the run. I'm curious to see if North Greenville coming out of the half is going to be able to put together some sort of run game to complement Dylan Ramirez. He's been able to run the ball a little bit here and there, but the sacks and the penalties have really kind of stalled those drives.
Argos have turned the ball over a couple times, and then the penalties, which we'll talk about when we get into the stats in the next segment. I mean, it's tough to fight against yourself, so to speak. And again, you always want to, you credit the other team for what they do well if they do beat you, but you hate when you feel like you're beating yourself with mental mistakes. And hey, early in this football game, the Argos just couldn't get out of their own way.
Yeah, I mean, the penalties just stacked up. I mean, lost a big return, ended up losing a couple of touchdowns off of that. And that's where the deeper you get into the playoffs, the higher the competition gets, those kind of errors become costly. They become game losers. They send you home, season over.
Yeah, you don't want that here today. It's a crazy day on this campus. We had, almost thought it was going to rain before the game started. We got the sun out now, a little bit of clouds. It's getting warm. It's getting humid. Almost a beach day here in Pensacola. We're right on the Gulf here, but you got football going on here. The conference volleyball tournament for the Gulf South is going on up in the field house. So you got soccer NCAA regionals tomorrow right here at the soccer complex. There's a swimming event, youth swimming event in the in the auditorium, which is right over there. And so there's a bunch of people there, and there's some kind of tennis pickleball thing going on. So there's all kinds of activity here on a beautiful November day right before Thanksgiving. We're going to take a break here. We come back. Guys in the booth are getting together a highlight package for us from the half one of this one, and we'll dive into the stats. There are certainly some interesting numbers to look at in the first half of this one. We'll take a break. Argos lead 15-7 over the Trailblazers here at halftime in this first round NCAA Division II Super Region game on ESPN. Welcome back in. Halftime here, 15-7 is our score. Will Kennedy and Devin Gibson and Jordan Glass with you. Let's take a look at some highlights real quick here if we've got those queued up in the booth from a crazy first half in which we saw no points in the first quarter because both teams were struggling a little bit. The Argos would force a fumble early, Nice job, Colby Taylor and the guys getting home. But the Argos couldn't capitalize on it. We'd go right back, and Marcus Stokes throwing an interception here. Good pressure from the front four from the opposers, and Glover comes up with the interception. The Argos would get it going finally. Nice punishing run to cap a touchdown drive, and then 2 points on the conversion after a penalty. Stokes was taken in. TJ Lane would add the 2. It's 8-0. And then the next possession after the defense got the football back. Stokes, this is unreal. Kendrick Watkins, beautiful catch. 54 yards on the throw and run, and you're into the end zone. After that PAT, you're up 15-0. But North Greenville had to have something. They get it here. Great drive. Dylan Ramirez finds Sam Washam a bunch of times, then gets Rashid. They score, and that'll be our score at the half. 15-7 is the score there. I think we've got Jordan Glass down on the field, and let's check in with Jordan kind of for his analysis from down there field level. Jordan.
Yeah, guys, the first quarter and a half of this game, all defense. The last part of the second quarter, we saw a lot of firepower on offense, a lot of big plays, definitely something to keep an eye on in the second half. Also something to keep an eye on the second half. A little chippiness there towards the end of the second quarter, especially after Marcus Stokes' touchdown run. That's what drew that penalty. We'll see if it carries on into the second half. Either way, should be a great finish to this game.
Thank you, Jordan. Devin, it's a Chamber of Commerce day here. It's almost 80, and the sun is shining now, and it feels really good. And do we have stats in the booth? If we can pull up some stats from the first half of this one, we can kind of show you, and we'll talk about the individual stats as well. But you can see there, -3 rushing yards. The Argos are kind of dominating total offense, 246 to 139, but a lot of that 142 right there came on that last drive.
Right.
And you worry about a guy like Dylan Ramirez all of a sudden picking it up and finding his rhythm a little bit offensively. It's going to be tough to run the ball, as you've said a couple of times if you're North Greenville, but you do look, and you kind of would expect that. You'd be down by 8 points here. Turnover battle's even. Got a pick and a fumble mixed in there. It's the penalties that don't show up on this stat page, as the Argos have 7 for 70. 5 for 42 now for North Greenville. So you'd say that's not a huge disparity, but it's where the Argos have taken some penalties and how it's hurt them. Although I thought North Greenville, they gave up a big penalty that allowed the Argos to get down there. In fact, one of the Russ Martin twins both doubled up on a face mask and a unsportsmanlike that led to the Argos having a scoring chance. So can you clean up the penalties for both teams, really honestly, and take care of the football in the second half?
Yeah, and we look at that -3 rush stat. Most of that's from sacks. Defensive line able to get to Dylan Ramirez. So, and we talked about that earlier. The success that's going to come from North Greenville offense is going to be from Dylan Ramirez able to at least withstand a little bit of pressure and get that ball out.
I'm going to have to maybe take my blood pressure meds. I've been doing that all year. Devin will text me when I'm on the road sometimes like, oh, my God. We've had some crazy ones. I got a feeling this is maybe setting up to be that way if you're an Argo fan. If you're North Greenville, you're right in this thing.
Yeah.
And there's 30 minutes of football left, and seasons are on the line for both of these teams. Let's take one more break. We'll come back and get you ready for the second half of this one. 15-7 our score. Argo's on top here from Pensacola. This is NCAA Division II playoff football on ESPN. Welcome back in, ready for the second half here of this one. Will Kennedy and Devin Gibson with you here on ESPN, both simulcasting on the radio and on the live stream here. The Argos are on top of the North Greenville Trailblazers. 15-7 is our score, and 30 minutes left to decide who gets to play on into round 2 of these Division II playoffs and who is going to call it a season, which is, yeah, you're a player, you've been there. That's not what you want. You want to play almost to Christmas. I know it's a pain to have to not get Thanksgiving dinner with your family this next week if you're either of these football teams, but you would rather be on your campus when it's nice and quiet, getting ready for an opponent next week.
Yeah, that's the goal, is to be playing past Thanksgiving. It's just so much fun once you get to this time of year.
Tyler Patterson they go squib kick, onside kick, and the Argos get there. Yes, they do. Sean Payton, the ghost of Sean Payton in the Super Bowl, as Caleb Noble says, let's roll the dice. Kendrick Watkins-Hogue, who had the touchdown catch, flies down. That's a momentum shifter.
That's a big momentum shift, especially if you're North Greenville. You come out of the half expecting to be on offense. Defense thinks that they have a little bit of a breather, and now they're right back on the field. UWF has great field position, short field, 41 yards to get to the end zone.
Wow.
Talk about a shift.
I'll tell you what, that is Billy Packer, who does basketball games, NCAA basketball games. Onions is how they describe it right there. Coach Caleb Nobles. I'm assuming it's the head coach who made that call, but I wonder if Jordan Rimza,
had a little say-so.
The special teams coach, said, you know what, let's roll that. And that's something you've practiced and you've worked on, and maybe specifically for this week or something that you worked on back in fall camp. But either way, the offense gets to come back on the field. Watkins-Hogue, huge special teams play. Stokes pulls it. He's looking that way. He's going to throw it. Overthrew. I think he was kind of between receivers. He was looking at Watkins-Hogue deep and then tried to go underneath the Holloway and overthrew him.
Yeah, it looked like he had Damon Early in his face a little bit. But, yeah, it seemed like he couldn't really decide which guy he wanted to go to. I think either one of them would have been a good shot.
I get that call because after the momentum of coming up with the onside kick, you want to come right back and put a big play on him and really put the pressure. Now, if you're North Greenville, defensively, you've got to take a breath.
Yeah.
You got an opportunity here. You got to stand up and try to keep them off the board. TJ Lane moves over. They bring pressure off the side of the Argos. Offensive line. Oh, big hit. Corey Scott. Man, that's a heck of a catch. It's a great play over there, flying up to make the hit by Jarek Foster. But Corey Scott, that's a tough one to hang on to. Again, not the biggest guy in the world, but that's what we call being a tough receiver.
Yeah, and a great job by Marcus Stokes there, hanging in the pocket, knowing that he's going to take a hit. Bradley Russ Martin.
They ran a twin in there, didn't they?
Yeah, and they're going full speed. So, yeah, great ball, great catch.
Put this one to the 36. It's a gain of 5, and it's going to be 3rd and 5. Big play for both sides of the football right here. Stokes takes the snap, rolls to his right, has a man, fires it. It's Corey Scott. Not many yards after the catch there. It doesn't matter, though. He gets inside the 20, down to the 19-yard line. So, nice hookup right there, 17 yards.
Got a little bit of extracurricular activities after the play.
There's going to be some frustration right here. If you're North Greenville, you feel a little bit, even though there's tons of football left here, time-wise, you feel a little bit back to the wall right here coming out of the locker room like this.
Yeah, I would definitely keep an eye on DeAndre Glover and Corey Scott down here at the bottom of your screen.
Big Jake Robinette gets into the backfield, though, run to the right side, and TJ Lane inside the 15, some good punishing running. Not the biggest back in the world, but he runs like he's about 5 inches taller and 40 pounds heavier than he is.
Derrick Henry of Division II, I think is what they call him.
Pocket Derrick Henry?
Yeah.
Nice job right there. Takes it inside the 15 down to the 11. It's going to set up a second down and short, 2nd and 2 or so. And the Argos are in the red zone again. They were effective last time they were here. They scored from inside the 10-yard line. Stokes will hand it off. TJ's going to bounce it to the outside. Gets away from the first guy. Inside the 5. Dives. Hits the pylon. Touchdown Argos. What a great 2nd and 3rd effort by TJ Lane. You can see why he is the first team All-GSC running back selection.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great play. We've talked about UWF bouncing the ball outside, setting up, outside run, makes a guy miss, and hits that pylon.
Yeah, try to shove him out, one of the Russ Martin twins, but that's just heads-up football. 2 hands on the ball.
Absolutely.
And he sticks it out there, catches that pylon. That's all you have to do. And the Argos have just really totally shifted the script here in the second half.
Yep. Yeah.
Tyler Patterson out of the Mike Shine hold, set to try a PAT. Don Vellante is the snapper. This one is up, and it is good. You don't have to bang it too hard, but it knocks the net down a little bit there. And we'll take a break. The Argos extend the lead. 22-7 is our score with 12:56 left in the third. This is NCAA playoff football on ESPN.
How about that, dude? Wow.
Welcome back. Argo set to kick this one off after they cap a nice quick drive. They recover an onside kick, go 5 plays, 41 yards. It ends up being TJ Lane from 11 yards out. They run 2:03 off the clock. And UWF is back on top 22-7, so back to that 15-point lead. We'll get the kickoff here, and then after the kickoff, we will go down and check in with Jordan Glass down on the sideline. This one is taken. Fair catch again. Let's check in with Jordan down on the sideline for an injury update.
Yeah, guys, quick injury update on Javon Swinton for the Argos. Went out in the first half. He is on the sideline in street clothes and crutches. Looks like he has his quad area wrapped up right now, so it doesn't look like Javon Swinton coming back in this game for UWF.
Back with you. Ball at the 25 to start this drive, and the Argos defense comes back out. Dylan Ramirez brings the offense back out. As you mentioned, he was super efficient in the first half, 11 of 13. That's 84, almost 85% completions, 142 and a touchdown. He hurt the Argos late. They mainly had done a nice job with him. He'll go back to pass, roll out to his right, looking deep. He's got a man. If he gets it there, it's Rashid. He does, and the Argos just lost him right there. Chester Fearon unable to keep up with the speedy number 1.
Yeah, and this is what we've talked about at halftime, Will. North Greenville being able to use explosive plays, not being able to rely on the run a whole lot. But, you know, if you've got a quarterback like Dylan Ramirez and receivers that can be in the right spot, then you can move the football.
That goes for 40 on the throw and catch.
Yeah,
and Ramirez made that look easy. And I like, you notice there, Devin, they rolled him out to his right to get him away from pressure.
Yeah.
They'll go fake the toss sweep, QB run, middle of the line, and that's been their most effective runs has been Ramirez. When they've designed something for him, he'll pick up 5.
Yeah, and again, I'm just curious as to how many hits he's going to be able to take and continue to play effectively throughout this game.
I think if they can keep him from taking the hits when he's throwing the ball, when you're more exposed. I mean, right there, he's almost delivering the hit a little bit more. I tell you what, all of a sudden this feels like we might be getting into a shootout.
Yeah.
If they can come up with points here. It's a different vibe to what we had for most of the first half. It started picking up late in the first half, and since then it's felt like both offenses are feeling it a little bit.
Right.
2nd down and 4. Give him 6 officially on the run on 1st down. They'll throw it, little wide receiver screen action. Good blocking out in front. Flags fly behind. This is probably going to be most likely on the offense and will nullify what was going to be a really nice play over there as he found Cameron Walker, Ramirez did. Although they're clapping, it's on the Argos.
It looks like it is, yeah.
It's going to be number 8 on UWF.
I was thinking that it might be a hold, but that ball came out so quick that it didn't seem like it would be.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense, number 6. Have the distance to the goal. Automatic. 1st down.
From the boys in blue are just absolute drive killers.
And this one, it's a huge one because this play was going to be down near the 20. But then you throw the penalty on, and now you're down at the 10.
We'll see if North Greenville can dial up some rushing here.
Inside the red zone first time today. The little jump pass, little Tim Tebow-esque, and they find easy money as Christian Means, the all-conference big tight end. Middle of the field is where the Argos have been punished. Valdosta did it last week. Delta did it a couple weeks ago, and now, wow, right down the field. And it's a touchdown, Ramirez to Means.
And this is just a credit to what you were saying earlier is if they can keep Dylan Ramirez clean, have him rolling out, quick passes, you know, he's going to be able to pick apart a defense throughout the game, and that's showing right here.
Bonner on to attempt the left-footed PAT, and it's really a good thing the Argos did try that out of the locker room because it looked like North Greenville was ready. They block it. They get to it. Can they scoop and score? No, they don't. Bonner comes up with his Walker Robinson, falls on him. Great pressure up the middle. Block that extra point. And it's blocked, and the Argos return. They've had some special teams troubles the last few weeks, and now it's their turn to get on the end of that.
Yeah, and that's a big block right there.
No, wait a minute. Looks like we're not. They're going to come back out. Argos get hit with another penalty.
Outside. Defense, number 19. After this is the goal, we're repeating the try.
The distance to the goal line.
Make it a 7-point game.
They'll repeat it, and they'll go for 2. So try to get there a little early to jump and get that block, and you get called for it. So now this is what happened with North Greenville that led to a 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
The Argos will hustle some guys off and on. Now, what do you call here? Because running the football, even from this distance, is not that easy against this rush defense.
No.
They're going to have to take a timeout. Nope, they're running somebody back out there. Play clock's fine, but they were missing a guy. You needed that 11th man. Ramirez looks over the defense. Single receiver, bottom of the field. Rashid is the running back / and he's going to look to throw. He does, blocked away. Kobe Clinton gets a big mid on it, knocks it down. A little trickeration does not work. It backfires a little bit. We'll take a break here. Argos hang on at least for a point or two there. 22-13 now our score. Argos on top of the Blazers. This is NCAA playoff football on ESPN. Whew. Buckle up, everybody. Looks like it's going to be a crazy second half. Both teams have got touchdowns here to get the final 30 minutes underway as the Argos got an onside kick and converted a quick drive and a quick answer from North Greenville. 4 plays, 75 yards. It's a Ramirez to Means 10-yard touchdown to cap it. Only 1:39 off the clock, but the 2-point conversion fails. So we got a 22-13 score sitting here now with 11-17. Argos on top here in the third quarter. They'll start from their own 25. So I don't know. Both defenses look like they may be on their heels a little bit here, Gibby.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like North Greenville has had some success in the air. UWF has had some success in the air. I'll just be we'll just hope that North Greenville can hopefully get some run game going and be able to establish something on the ground.
They'll start here from the 25. Stokes brings the offense back out. Brings a man in motion across the set. It's Makai Stevenson. He'll pull it. He'll look that way. Fires. Oh, what a nice throw into a tight window to Tyshawn Manziel. He had defenders right there, but that's the arm talent of Marcus Stokes. And also, you know, you see the athletic ability rolling to his right there.
Yeah, I mean, plenty of time, rolling to the right, threads the needle, inside slant like that.
had Foster right there in good coverage. We've seen Foster make some nice plays defensively, but give him 9 yards to the 34 on the completion. It's 2nd and 1, so you got all kinds of stuff you can do here, and they'll just go the traditional route right up the middle. Jay Sharp picks up where he left off, putting his head down. What a great job right there where you used to play, opening up something inside.
Run the dang ball.
That's going to make somebody real happy down there.
Yeah.
Somebody I know well, my friend Steve Sonia, the offensive line coach.
Yeah, that was a good job getting double teams working up to that middle linebacker.
They'll take the snap, hand it off. This time Sharp bounces from the middle to his left a little bit. Not a ton there, but enough across the 45, across just north of the 46. Let's see where they mark this. Right at the 46, gain of 4, 2nd and 6 coming up.
Yeah, and I'm honestly a little surprised that UWF is running the ball as well as it is because North Greenville runs 4 down linemen, 2 middle linebackers, 6 men in the box. UWF's having to bring that tight end as an extra man to keep the 6th guy off.
Kind of run the pace, control the pace here a little bit with your running game. And they'll go back to that side of the line. Big hole. Sharp's through it. Runs past the first defender. Puts his shoulder into one of the Russ Martin twins. And he gets a big gainer into North Greenville territory down near the Trailblazers 40. They'll mark him, or actually inside the 40, the 35 at the 36. That's a big flip of the field. 20 yards.
Yeah, great run. Inside zone, we've talked about it before, off the left side. I mean, a hat on hat. When a safety's making the tackle, offensive line's doing their job.
Say they're running like somebody's got a flight to catch later. And that might be me.
That might be you.
And they'll go snap here. Not quick yet, but enough where Jay Sharp goes again. I mean, they're just a huge expanse of green on the right side of the line.
Yeah, it looked like that was a design inside zone left, but I mean, the defensive line collapsed, offensive line collapsed with him. And Jay Sharp was able to read it off the backside and kind of roll off the right tackle there.
So they'll pick up another nice chunk here, give them a first down to the 26. Gain of 10, move the chains. Stokes brings it back to the line of scrimmage. 2 receivers here, near side, ball between the hashes. They're just going to keep on keeping on. This time TJ gets the corner, tight ropes the sideline. They're going to say he stepped out early. Let's see where they mark him officially. Yeah, it looked like he had about 5 yards more, but I think he just caught the chalk over there. So right outside the 20 to the 21, gain of 5. He was trying to keep it in.
Yeah, outside zone play here. I mean, good blocking up front.
You know what they say, if you can pick up 5 yards a carry, you're going to be in for a pretty good day.
Yeah,
on the other side, you're in for a long day if you're just giving up 5 yards
Yep.
They'll go the Wildcat again. TJ takes it, he'll pull it and keep it. He dances away from one defender, cuts it up inside the 15, inside the 10. You can feel this offensive line for the Argos starting to assert their will, and these 2 running backs, Sharp and Lane, are the beneficiaries.
Yeah, and I mean, great job right there by TJ Lane, taking the direct snap. Hitting right side tackle. I think that was number 5, Brooks. Russ Martin, one of the twins in there, just could not make the tackle. Great job by TJ Lane.
In the red zone again and inside the 10 again. So the Argos have been really efficient today inside this space. 2 touchdowns so far, and they'll go right back to it from the 9-yard line, 1st and goal to go. They'll run Micaiah Stevenson in motion, and they'll run Stokes behind some big bodies. Marcus Stokes dives into the end zone, and the Argos answer North Greenville's touchdown with a touchdown of their own. And 3 possessions on offense between the 2 teams, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, another great run. Marcus Stokes just has an eye for letting his running backs, tight ends, offensive line open up holes for him. I mean, right there you see Jay Sharp as lead blocker, and Marcus Stokes knows exactly where to go.
Really good patience right there, right, Devin? As an offensive lineman, you want somebody behind you to give you time to move some people around.
Yep.
Isaiah Walker, 54 in there. Got some other big bodies in blue pushing that pile a little bit, and they'll go for the PAT. The kick is up, and it is good. It almost looks like Tyler Patterson's doing the old straight-on toe poke, but he's not. He's a little bit, kicker style off the soccer style off to the side, but I wouldn't mind seeing somebody go back to that. So for those, they're listening to North Greenville fans especially, so Pensacola has a rich football tradition, especially at the high school level, and there's a guy that played in high school here. There's a couple guys played in high school that are in NFL Hall of Fame, one of those being Emmett Smith. Mm-hmm. And Emmett's younger brother, Emery, played at Escambia High School, played at Clemson, was an All-American, played a little bit in the NFL. He was the kicker for Escambia High School here, and he went old school like that. he would just stand, right behind the ball. They'd snap it, and he'd just bang that thing through. He kicked off, too. And so you never know. So that's old school football, but it's good to see Tyler banging through. The Argos, honestly, folks, have struggled a little bit with PATs and the kicking game the last few weeks. So far, so good when it comes to that if you're an Argo fan.
Yeah, that was the era of maybe leather footballs and leather helmets.
Leather heads. Check that movie out if you like football stuff. 29 now to 13. The Argos extend that lead out to 16. So feels a little bit better if you're wearing the blue and green. North Greenville is going to have to get the offense right back to it. They'll take another fair catch. Amari Coates catches this one. So as slow as it was in the first quarter and into the first couple minutes of the second quarter, we've played about half of the third quarter, and we've seen 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if North Greenville knows something about UWF's explosive special teams to why I don't think that they've taken out a kick yet, roughly around the 10.
I know from the punt side, Mike Shine was averaging about 43 yards a punt, but the net with return, 41. So the Argos have been getting down there and giving up 2 yards on a return for average for the season. And the special teams, Patrick Delacourt, number 85, special teams gunner, he's all conference at that position, and he's had a bunch of tackles. So they've been great. And then pressure comes. Ramirez, nice job of spinning away. He's just going to tuck it and run it. He'll get out of bounds with a short gain.
Yeah, Dylan Ramirez able to use his feet. And that's what we've talked about, getting him away from the pressure, be able to see the field, be able to see his guys.
Out to the 29, gain of 4. He's taken some sacks, especially in the first half. If you can avoid the sack, get whatever you can, or even take an incompletion, it's better than losing 7 yards, 8 yards.
Yeah, no doubt, absolutely.
Sets up a second. He gets 4 on there, sets up a 2nd and 6. Back to pass, stays in the pocket. Football's knocked out. That is a fumble. Oh, no. Wow, okay.
Incomplete.
Officiating is tough to do. Things happen bang, bang in real time. I thought Washam caught the ball and turned and took a step.
I thought so.
And I thought the defender got up there and knocked the ball out. But either way, a great defensive play. But we'll see the replay here. I may change my mind. Yeah, he never had it. That's just a beautiful job of flying up there by Jamari Dickens and knocking that football loose. The safety, that's what a safety's supposed to do right there, folks.
Textbook play.
29-yard line. 3rd and 6, big down right here for the Argos. You see Coach Jordan Rimsa flying in there and yelling something to one of his DBs, Rod Webb. Pressure coming. They're going to get home. It's a huge play by this Argo defense. Kevin Roberts is in there, number 5, the first to get there. And once again, Colby Taylor, this time number 11, in the mix. I believe, is that Jamal Ellis rolling out there too? Yes. So, man, they call this group, for those that are new for us with the broadcast here on ESPN, they call them death row because no one gets out alive, is what the Coach Lucas Mello likes to say, the defensive line coach. That time, it looked like it.
Yeah, I mean, just completely swarmed. I mean, that's what you want to see, is a bunch of blue jerseys behind white jerseys.
I just said it. Don't take a loss of 7. They did there. Frey gets off a nice kick. Newsom will take it. Gets away from the first guy. 40 out near midfield. Not a tremendous return, but a nice one that's going to set your offense up in some good position. So another sack. I believe that's either 4 or 5 here in the game.
Yeah.
And they got Dylan Ramirez 7 times up there in Tigerville when they met in the regular season. That has continued here today.
Yeah.
So kudos to this front four and this defense under Coach Cavell Connor, the defensive coordinator.
Yeah, and I mean, sacks don't make up for any kind of touchdowns. So, I mean, they're definitely going to have to protect Dylan a little bit better if they want to have a chance of winning this game.
No doubt. Now they really, defensively for North Greenville, you've got to find a way to get the ball out of this Argo offense hands, and they're starting near midfield at their own 47. Stokes will keep it, puts his head down, gets out near midfield. Nice job of closing that hole quickly on the defensive side of the football. Bryson Oliver, middle linebacker. That's what a middle linebacker's got to do, is come up there and, you know, once your guys up front are occupying the offensive lineman, you find that gap and go find the ball carrier. He does a really nice job of that there. Holds it to a short gain out to midfield. Gain of 3, it'll be 2nd and 7. They show a little pressure off the left edge. Stokes hands it off on the RPO. Good push up front. And again, 3-4 yards of carry. Now you're looking at 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4.
Yeah.
Very manageable. Where the Argos have gotten themselves in trouble, both teams, frankly, is when you're looking at 3rd and 10, 3rd and 12. We've seen 3rd and 17 here today as well.
Yeah, and we've discussed it before throughout the season. If you're getting 4 yards of carry, you're going to win a football game.
You got 3 on the first down, 4 there. It's 3rd and 3. You pick up 3 again. You move the chains, and that's all you have to do.
Yep.
And if you're ahead, roll that clock, baby. Everybody appreciates that. They'll go right back to it. But that's what you got to have. And there's that middle linebacker, Oliver, again, finds T.J. Lane before he can get going. And so now you got a question. There's a decision here to make, a question to answer. If you're Coach Nobles, looks like they're leaving the offense out here, because if you punt it, you're probably – if it goes in the end zone, it's 20 yards of field position that you're probably flipping. You could pin him deep. I think he likes the way his offense is playing right now with the ball at the 46.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if I mean, we're stretching the receivers out wide here. He's obviously got wheels on Marcus.
Ball right in the middle of the field. Then they split out T.J. Lane. They're going to keep it with Marcus. I don't know about that play call, and I don't think he got there.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, it ends up being a little bit short. I like the thought, but that's one of those where put it in somebody's hands and make somebody make a tackle in the open field rather than trying to jam up between the tackles. Now you're asking your defense to put the brakes on a good offense out near midfield. But this is what we said earlier with the onside kick. If you're UWF, from their perspective, you trust in your defense here.
Yeah, and I mean, UWF's defense has been playing extremely well. North Greenville's been able to put a few drives together. But with the pressure that the defensive line is getting on this North Greenville offensive line, I mean, it doesn't surprise me that Coach Caleb doesn't mind going forward on 4th, you know, with knowing the risk of trusting on his defense.
So turn it over on downs. He needed 3. He got 2. Ball is at the North Greenville 44. They'll bring Rashid in motion. Ramirez will pull it. Looks downfield, has a man, had a defender breaking up the pass. What a great play. Kenyon Hunter, number 16. That is textbook DB play right there. Find the football, knock the football out.
Yeah, find football, attack football.
It's not hard, and when it happens well, it looks just like this. Great job of just getting his shoulder in there, and Means was trying to come up, who had the touchdown on a previous drive, trying to come up with a nice catch there, but unfortunately for him, the timing was great from Hunter. Keep it at the 44. Quick out to Sam Washam. Gets away from Rod Webb. Gets loose into the secondary. The Argos have to chase him down. Kevin Roberts from his defensive tackle position comes and brings the receiver downfield.
Good hustle right there by Roberts.
But that is what we saw on the touchdown drive before the half. Sam Washam started cooking. 16 yards on that play. They'll go right back to Washam. And, what a great play. That's a great battle, Webb and Washam over there. This time Webb wins the battle.
Yeah, and I let the refs take this with a grain of salt. I mean, letting the boys play.
Yeah.
You know, let's we'll keep fairness across the board, but, you know, I love to be able to see some guys, you know, get after it on the edge.
And that was one it looked for a second. Washam had, you know, he had the inside or outside position. It was a step behind him, and Webb does a nice job of closing, and there's both guys. Both guys were using their arms. That happens all the time at every level of football. Unless it's egregious, then you let them go. They'll look to run it, and this is not working. Reg Young Bennett says, hello, Byron Puryear. Puryear says, welcome. welcome to Pensacola.
There you go.
And the Argos get another TFL. It's only a 1-yard loss, but those stack up because now deep ball incompletion, loss, 3rd and 11. We were just saying 3rd and 3 is nicer. 3rd and 11 is a tough down and distance.
Yeah, and it looked like they ran a stunt there with the defense tackle on outside and defensive end wrapped inside, and that's where, you know, that's extremely confusing trying to run the ball against that type of defense.
Let's see what Ramirez can do here. He's been really good on 3rd down today. This time, here comes the pressure. He fires it. He has a man. What a great catch. But he's short of the 1st down, or did he get there? It looks like he's going to be right about a yard short as Dylan Ramirez did a nice job of firing it out to Amari Coates.
Yeah, and if you're North Greenville here, I think it looks like we're in 4-down territory again.
Oh, you got to be here, right, especially with the score where it is. Yeah. So give him the 31. They needed to get to the 30. They get 10. They needed 11. So it's 4th down and 1. We will see what Coach Garner and company dial up here. They'll run it. Ramirez is going to get the 1st down. He's getting his head knocked off, or his helmet at least. Yeah. Down there. That's good, tough running. You can see we've said he's a weapon in these short down and distance.
Yeah, I mean, and him and Marcus really have very similar play styles. They love the big plays, but they also love using their feet.
So that's a huge 1st down for North Greenville as we are under 2 minutes here in the 3rd quarter. Really feels like this is a spot where North Greenville's got to get some points. Doesn't necessarily have to be a touchdown down 16, but you got to put something on the board here. Ball's at the 28. You got a gain of 3 to pick up that 1st down and move the chains. I mean, you're technically in a 2-score game right now, down 16 points, but nice job on the left side of that Trailblazers line of getting a little bit of a push, and you saw blue jerseys flying in, but they missed the ball carrier. Yeah. So you get a couple yards on 1st down. You don't know how many chances, Gibby, that you're going to get with the football over the last 15 minutes. So now this is where we talk about pressure in the playoffs, the season on the line. You start feeling like we've got to maximize every opportunity.
Yeah, North Greenville may have 2 more possessions after this.
Unless you can force a turnover or get off the field quickly. So it was a gain of 2 at 2nd and 8. He fires. He's got a man, but break on the football. Oh, my gosh. Tony Newsom tipped it, and Washam stayed with it. That is a heck of a play from number 24. Unbelievable concentration. I can't tell you how tough that is to catch a ball that's been tipped. I thought Webb had an interception. Tony had an interception, excuse me.
Yeah, that's a great concentration there by Washam, able to locate that ball, keep his 1 foot in. I mean, and now you're at 1st and goal on the 1-yard line.
Gain of 25 on the tip ball. He defended it well. He just, the last bit, that was beautiful except for the last note.
Yeah.
And they'll go right to Ramirez. He's going to keep it, and he's not going to get in. And, in fact, he may back it up to the 2 or a half a yard or so. So the Argos bow up, as they say.
And UWF, their defense has been lights out when it comes to at the goal line.
That'll bring us to the end of the quarter here, and we'll have a goal line stand to start quarter number 4 as we've got 15 minutes of football to play. Argos on top 29-13. This is NCAA playoff football on ESPN.
It's the Argos 29, the Trailblazers
Back with you. Here we go. First down, second down, goal to go from the 1 yard line. The Argos trying to pull off a goal line stand after a crazy play, put North Greenville on the 1. They'll hand it off. Nothing at all. How about this defense flying into the football? Warren Conway, Kobe Clinton, the linebackers getting in there and stuffing the run.
Yeah, it looked like they had it snuffed out from the beginning. I mean,
Kobe Clinton with a closure on the replay here. I mean, he just flew up into the football, back it up a yard to the 1, or to the 2, back it up 1 yard, tackle for loss. So now, third down, goal to go from the 2. I think it's 2 down territory. I think if you're Coach Garner, you got to roll the dice here. But we shall see. They'll go Ramirez. Ramirez puts his head down. Oh, my stuff. Juice Williams, the first to get there. How about Big Justice?
Big Juice.
The juice got loose, and Walker Robinson joined him on the tackle. And now you're looking at 4th and goal, and they're going to go power package. It feels like you're putting the game on the line right here.
Yeah, this right here is a season ending or season continuing play.
So we will see right here if North Greenville can find a way to get into the end zone. They got a yard there, so they're at the 1. It is 4th and goal from the 1. Total power package, no wide receivers. They'll set up Means across in motion. Ramirez will keep it. Is he going to get there? Yes, he did. Just barely. Got tripped up, dove into the end zone. North Greenville had to have it, and the Blazers get it. 6 points on the board.
Yeah, inching a little bit closer. They have got to come up with a big stop here. North Greenville, to get the ball back to their offense.
A couple of them potentially. So they're going to go for 2 here. You're down 16, you got to go here. And if you don't get the 2 here, though, then all of a sudden now it's a 2-score game still. So, but this is what the math tells you to do in today's football especially. But they'll run Kenyon Hunter off. Jamari Dickens has to come out of the game limping a little bit. But, man, that was a huge play for this North Greenville team. They'll go power package again from the 2 yard line. Ramirez takes it. He stretches out, pitches inside. It ain't going to happen. Argos are all over it. They tried a little inside lateral, and the Argos were on top of it. So 10-point game. But now North Greenville, it's a 2-score game. You're down a touchdown and a field goal. So run them off the field. The Argos will get the football back on offense, and we'll take a break with the 2 teams. 29-19 our score, 13:33 left in this one. You're watching NCAA and listening to NCAA playoff football on ESPN. Wow. We are back, 29-19 our score, 13:33 left in a really good football game here at Pensacola, Florida. This is the NCAA Division II playoffs first rounds here in Super Region 2 as the host team, the University of West Florida, on top of the visitors, North Greenville Trailblazers, who have just scored a touchdown. Dylan Ramirez from 1 yard out as this ball is put into the air and will be taken inside the 10 by Kendrick Watkins-Hogue, out across the 20, jumps over a defender, gets away from another one out across the 30. I'll tell you what, this kid has been electric today, both in the return game, receiving, and on recovering an onside kick. He is my player of the game so far. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, he has definitely been on fire. I mean, you see just the wall of blue.
He hurdled somebody in the middle there, really set that up, and that's a really athletic move. So the Argos will start at their own 36 with 13:25 left in this football game. Marcus Stokes and offense get back out. 13 plays, 56 yards after the Argos went on fourth down near midfield. North Greenville capitalizes after their defense held, but they ran 5:15 off the clock as Ramirez scored from 1 yard out. They missed the two-point conversion. They'll run it, middle of the line. Look at the push. The scrum, they're going to get out to the 39, gain of 3.
Yeah, UWF's probably going to lean heavy on their run game right now, try to chew up some clock. But like we talked about earlier, if this does come down to a really close game, you want to keep your offense in rhythm.
You do. And I think, too, when you're running the ball like this, all of a sudden, you know, you walk up, they're walking up North Greenville, more guys into the box. There will be the opportunity to, you know, maybe run a boot, maybe get outside with the quarterback. We've seen him run for big ones this year, or find that play downfield. They'll run Giddens in as the tight end into the backfield. They'll go right back to the power running game. TJ Lane, big hole. Midfield, cuts it back to the outside. 40 into North Greenville territory, inside the 30, inside the 20. It's Jay Sharp, inside the 10. Those numbers confuse me, but not Jay Sharp. He gets it loose, and the Argos get a big play in the running game. It's been a minute.
Yeah, it has. It has been a minute since UWF has had a big run. I mean, you see that inside zone right up the gut. Safeties are off. And Jay Sharp's able to take it down the sideline. I mean, a great job there by our guy. I mean, we've talked about him all freaking game.
51 yards on the run right there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's Jay Sharp, by the way. You know, I said we didn't see him the first couple of possessions. I was wondering if he was going to be all right. I saw him in the training room at one point during the week. 121 yards now, Gibby. They'll run Marcus. Marcus inside the 10, down near the 5. They'll give him the 6-yard line, gain of 4 on the quarterback keeper. This is a pretty tasty and delicious stat line. 7 carries, 121 yards. That's a 17.3 yards per carry. That's doing it.
Yeah, that'll get it done. That'll get it done.
Jay Sharp, man, out of nowhere today. He's been the second back after being pretty equal footing most of the year. But Jay Sharp's electric today. The transfer from Notre Dame College out of Birmingham, Alabama. Played up there in high school.
Kendrick Watkins on the huge block there.
Yeah, Watkins-Hogue he's been everything today in all phases of the game. They'll go Wildcat again. TJ Lane will take the snap, pulls it out of Marcus's belly, runs behind the left side of that line, keeps his feet churning inside the 5, down near the 2. And you're running clock, you're eating up space, and you're putting yourself here on the doorstep. They have been 100% inside the red zone today, and especially inside the 10. They got 2 downs here to punch it in. I don't think you're going to see Coach Nobles say, let's kick a field goal down here, even though it'd be point blank.
Yeah, and this is where UWF is starting to kind of run away with the game. I mean, you can look across the stat line and see it.
This is just mano-a-mano. Jay Sharp inside, touchdown. It's only fitting he caps the drive after busting a 51-yarder. Argos answer right back after giving up a touchdown and march it down the field, most of it on Jay Sharp's extremely talented feet. This is one thing this team has done really well all year long. We talk about the Argos, is they have answered other teams' scores. We kind of ran out of luck last week against the Valdosta team, who, by the way, lost at Albany State today. So the number 1 team in the region survived that game 35-30. We'll break down all the scores for you as we wrap up here today. But we've still got 10 minutes and 40 seconds left to play. The snap is down, the kick. Tyler Patterson is perfect, bangs it off the guys up on the scissor lift. And the Argos extend the lead back out. I think somebody was asking me if I had a score before the game, and I went 35-10. We're a little bit above that, but we're in that neighborhood right so far. So 36-19 right now is our score as the Argos lead this one. Let's pop up scores if we've got them from the control room. We can take a look at the rest of the region. Albany State gets the victory over Valdosta. Valdosta led that game 38-30 late in the fourth quarter, but then could not find a way to pull that one off. So winning streak for the Blazers, who made it to the national championship game last year, lost to Ferris State, ends today. Wow, how about Benedict on the comeback?
Yeah.
Wingate was up 17-0 at one point. Now it's 24-13 in the fourth. And then Newberry has just clinched. So if the Argos hang on to win, you'll get Newberry here next Saturday. 2021 overtime game, knocked off the defending national champs. Newberry did right here in Pensacola down at Blue Wahoo Stadium. So it's going to be an interesting run here in the playoffs. But nothing's decided yet. No, we're not warming anybody up to sing yet.
No.
Tyler Patterson set to kick this one off. We'll see. Yeah, they're fair catching before. I mean, you really see where the kick is.
Yeah. There's something that they've seen on film that they feel better about just taking the ball out after the fair catch.
That drive was another quick one. The Argos have really been striking pretty quickly. 2:03 was the touchdown drive out of the locker room. They were pretty quick. They've had some less than 1 minute drives today, but it's those big plays that flip that kind of stuff around.
Yep.
Clouds are back. The sun is kind of sinking. It's that time of year when we're pushing towards December here, where the days get kind of short here. This is the strange where we are kind of East Coast, but we're on Central Time for those that don't know. Back to fire it. Ramirez has Washam over there, but misses on that one. Goes as an incompletion. Washam's been the star here receiving. He's got 7 catches for 110 yards in the game. Ramirez, he's cooled down a little bit now, 17 of 22, but he's got the 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, he's having an extremely efficient game. 253 yards across the air.
And this is that's about their average game in and game out. So he's having a nice day. They'll go 2nd and 10 here. No pressure coming. Fires it over here, short side of the field. Has a receiver. It's Turisma. It's going to be a first down. So they miss on the first throw. Come right back. Get out across the 35 to the 37. Gain of 12.
Yeah, and North Greenville has really got to be able to score quick here. They're not going to be able to chop off 5 minutes like they did the last score.
You start running out of possessions, running out of road, as they say. I think it's really been glaring that when Ramirez gets the ball out of his hands quick or rolls out, good things happen. When he tries to stay in that pocket, he's getting crushed. And here he goes, stays in the pocket. Nice job of sliding up. Kenyon Hunter was right there. I think Washam wants a flag. I think he got it. Deserved one. There it is, out the 50. Yep. Hunter got a hand around him. There's that veteran quarterback play. Dylan Ramirez just sliding up in a collapsing pocket and getting away from the rush.
Yeah, and getting rid of the ball, knowing where his guys are.
So the pass was going to be
pass interference. Defense, number 16. The ball is placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic, first down.
Yeah.
And that's going to take you near 100 yards. And again, the Argos have found a way to survive some of this. But, this is interesting. Where are they putting this ball? The first down, but it's right there where the spot was at the 40, so they don't get a lot of yards out of it. And they'll get a fresh set of downs out at their own 40-yard line. But the Argos have escaped double-digit penalties with triple-digit yardage a couple times this year and gotten wins, but that's not a recipe for rolling on in the postseason, again, especially as the teams get tougher.
Yep.
36-19 our score, 9:55 left in this football game. The Argos only rushed the front 4, but they are putting tremendous pressure, and there's veteran quarterback play. He throws it into the stands.
Yeah, how many times do we see a guy try to throw it away and ended up being not enough, and it goes back the other way?
It's unfortunate. You play with a guy who's electric as a quarterback, national champion in Austin Reed, who went on and played at Western Kentucky after playing here at West Florida, and then into the NFL. So we've got an injury timeout. He used to throw a pick or two every now and again, like every game
he would.
for a while.
Yeah.
What'd you guys say to him?
I can't say it on air. But
let's go down and check with our sideline reporter. Jordan Glass is down there for us. Jordan?
All right, guys, one thing to keep an eye on the last 2 offensive drives for the Argos. A lot of rushing attack there for them, trying to burn off as much clock as they can. Rightfully so, up 17, but that is putting all the pressure on North Greenville. So we'll see if North Greenville can't get an answer here, maybe relieve a little bit of that pressure. It's going to be tough for them going up against this Argo defense, though. Back to you.
Thank you, Jordan. Trying to see, I think that's number 67. That is big. Simon Peterson. Transfer from Limestone with his former offensive line coach, Nate Garner. He is from Denmark. So you got an Irish kicker, a Danish offensive lineman. I was telling Coach Garner when we talked, I was like, you got a nice international flavor over there. So we hope that young man gets right back out there quick. 2nd and 10 after the incompletion. Back to pass. Ramirez has time, fires it, has a man. What a great throw. That's as good a throw as you're going to see to find. You got to understand, to throw the ball 25 yards down the field over the first set of defenders in front of the second set to your man who's sitting right there. It's not as easy as he made it look right there. That was a heck of a throw.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, he's doing a great job at getting rid of the football.
And that really goes for 24 yards. And that was all arm. That was not a yards after catch. So moving the ball here, as Devin said, they're going to have to get home quick. And this time the pocket collapses. He had Byron Puryear off one edge. Colin Shaw was in there. Colby Taylor, too. And he just had to put the ball in the dirt. Again, that's a heads-up play. You're going to see a lot of quarterbacks take a sack right there.
Yeah, I mean, and that's just where the experience comes in. I mean, Dylan's not new to this type of environment, this type of play. I mean, these are very easily 2 of the top teams in Division II that are playing right now.
Top quarterbacks for sure. These are about as good as you're going to see.
Yeah.
And North Greenville, I mean, they had some tough games that they lost, obviously, to some of the GSC teams, but they played West Owl close, 52-44. They played Valdosta 35-24. So they've been in some fights. And this time, what a great slide away from pressure. I thought he was over the line of scrimmage. The official doesn't agree with me, although he's marking where he threw it about a yard past the yard. But that's, again, great job by Dylan Ramirez of moving that pocket and sliding up. You know who the master of that was, and everybody knows he's the GOAT. Tom Brady, not very athletic. Everybody's joked and seen his 40 and the pictures of him at the draft combine, where it looks like, later in his career, it looks like he rubbed a magic lantern and the genie granted him some wishes and looks like a model. But he couldn't run. He wasn't going to scare you with his feet, but he was always able to slide up in the pocket, get away from pressure, and make a throw. Ramirez may have to do that again. 3rd and 10 now from the Argos 36. The Argos do bring a stun up front with some pressure. They're not going to get home. Oh, almost picked off. It bounced off Kobe Clinton. Then Walker Robinson almost had a chance at it, but that's going to force a 4th and 10. I'm going to tell you, I think it is 4-down territory, even though it's 4th and 10.
Kobe Clinton is kicking himself for that. I mean, that went right through his hands. Looked like he had a little bit of pressure.
It was going to be a tough catch, and that's why you're a linebacker and not a tight end. By the way, for those who don't know, Kobe Clinton, GSC Defensive Player of the Year. He's overcome a bunch. Injuries, a time out of football. His brother, Clinton Dix, played the NFL, played at Alabama. Is now the director of player development at Alabama as well. So Kobe comes from a great football family. Big 4th down play. Argos bring pressure. Fired over here. No flags. Rod Webb was tangled up with the receiver over there. I was waiting to see. You never know if it'll be called or not. But he was looking for Amari Coates, and Webb gets the coverage here. He's gotten burned a couple times today, but not on that play. So 4 straight incompletions, and this Argo defense is going to get off the field on downs with 8:50 left. I'm not saying, but if you could just run the football, 3-4 yards a play, and run the clock out, I wouldn't be mad.
Yeah, maybe you'll be early to your flight.
Get a little something to eat.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Argo's defense rises up when they really needed to right there, which is to kind of say, oh, you know what, we're gonna hold this down and not let North Greenville kind of fight their way back in. So they get the ball at their own 36 with another offensive possession. This is what you would expect. They're going to run it. Little counter to the left. Oh, TJ Lane puts his head down, drags the defenders out across the 45. It's going to be enough for a 1st down, and it's getting chunky.
It is, yeah. I mean, TJ Lane, this looks like a pretty slow developing play from up here in the booth, but I mean, like you said, 11-yard run. It's
it ends up being. I mean, that's you kind of let you let it develop slowly, so the guys like you that can't run fast can get out in front and block a little bit, right?
Right.
So Devin's quick as heck in a phone booth, but if it has to be down the driveway, it's a different story.
Different story.
First down to 10, 47 now for the Argos. They will run it back to that left side. Great hit. We've talked about these guys. It's been a minute, but one of the Russ Martin twins just flies up to the football. It's Brooks. I mean, they are diminutive by football terms, but, man, that was a nice hit on TJ right there. Keeps it a no gain.
Yeah, it looks like, they definitely got an edge to them, a little attitude. They're chirping around at the sideline, chirping to some receivers. So, but you've got to have that. Being an undersized cornerback, you've got to be able to have some edge to you. So
I'll tell you what, too, and we're seeing it right there at the replay. But also, like, to throw your head and your shoulder in there on a running back like that, you got to be a little fearless, too.
Yeah.
Stokes will keep it. He'll get past one of the Russ Martin twins, takes a big hit, keeps his feet. Man, he took a pop right there. I don't like to see my quarterback, if I'm the Argos, take that kind of hit, but I do appreciate the physicality there as he gets into North Greenville territory to the 49.
Yeah, and it looked like they had good – I thought that – we talked about Russ Martin here. I thought that Bradley was going to be able to make that play, but – I'm going to
tell you right now, that's one of those plays right there, and that number 42, the linebacker, Dakota Willard, defensive lineman. My coaches would have pulled me out and yelled at me. If you don't just throw a shoulder into a ball carrier, you got to wrap up. And he stunned Marcus, knocked him back, but didn't get him on the ground. Fortunately, they were able to get him down without much damage. It was an exciting 4-yard run.
Yeah.
You don't get many of those. Stokes is going to throw a little screen. TJ Lane, I told you he was pretty good out of the backfield. But again, the throw didn't lead him, and TJ had to choice the feet, so he's going to be short. They did it before. Are you going to go for it here? What do you think, D, on fourth down?
I think that we're going to bring in heavies. Yeah, they're bringing in the heavies. I think we're going to run the football.
They got 5 on the screen. Yeah. They're at the Trailblazers 44. They need to get to the North Greenville 43. And here's the nice thing. Clock keeps rolling if you're an Argo fan.
Rolling. Will, I'm noticing a lot of chirping back and forth across the line of scrimmage. So I'm just hoping that UWF can keep some composure.
Coach Nobles didn't like something there. He's going to call a quick timeout for the Argos, bring it in here, and talk to his team. Yeah, this is interesting. A great point you made there, Gibby, that when you are in the position of being where North Greenville is right now and you are kind of backed against the wall, season on the line, it's been a great season. You won the Conference Carolinas title, first time that conference has had a title in 51 years. It's your first playoff appearance in 9 seasons. There's a lot of pride, obviously. They got much better in the back half of the season. I was just saying, they lost to the GSC schools. And at one point, Coach Garner told me, man, it was really rough through the first 4 weeks. They had played Delta, the Argos, and West Alabama. They had only beaten Barton College. They were 1-3. Since that time, they go on a run where they go 6-1.
Yeah.
And they're unbeaten in their conference. And so pride's on the line. Sure. You see the end of the tunnel right there, and you're feeling it. And so you do start cranking up the intensity, don't you, a little bit?
Yeah, and a lot of these seniors are definitely feeling that pressure.
So here we go, 4th down play. They'll run it easy right in the middle of that line. And there, you can see down the field where Jake Robinette is tangled up with one of the safeties there. Jake just gets up, throws his arms in the air. George Wilder's wrestling him to the ground like a wild man.
Yeah.
And Jake does what you got to do. Like, not me.
He can catch, he can run, he can block.
A flag, or what is that?
Looks like someone's mouthpiece.
Oh, mouthpiece. But it flew way in the air. That's one of those where they're always going to get – wait, there is a penalty. No. They're always going to get the second person. So what Wilder may be doing there, I'm not going to read into everything, but, you're hoping somebody retaliates.
Yep.
That goes for 5 yards to the Blazers 39. Good enough for a first down. The Argos are really punishing. And there goes TJ Lane again through the left side of the line, across the 30, down near the 25, or Jay Sharp, and there's a flag. Yeah, it's really getting chippy down there now at this point.
Yeah.
That's going to be a nice big gain for Jay, and they're moving it up.
Barry Edwards getting mixed into some of that stuff.
It's going to be post-play, whatever happens, so spot it down to the – where are they putting the football? 25? Yeah, 25-yard line, so it's going to be a gain of 14.
And this is
first down.
This is where, UWF is obviously sealing their fate of moving on to the next round. You don't want to risk any kind of ejections, any silly, stupid penalties.
This one's on North Greenville. They're going to get Willard.
After this is to the goal, automatic, first down.
Ball was at the 25. Move that thing to the 12-ish yard line.
Yeah.
And really, you start to feel it now. How about TJ Lane? He's now 18 carries for 77 yards. Jay Sharp is 9 for 137 and a touchdown. I mean, 15 yards a clip will get it done.
Yeah, I'm sure that Coach Sonny is loving the stat line. 214 in the air, 260 on the ground.
We've had a couple games, 2 games in the regular season where we outran. The Argos did the passing game. Somebody is playing this play over and over again, and it's that offensive line, and it's these running backs, Jay Sharp, into the left side again. Nice little delay. You see there, if you're watching here, where he does the little stutter step when he takes the handoff. He's letting something open, letting something develop, and then trying to capitalize.
Yeah, just being patient. I mean, that's the name of this game. I mean, letting those offensive linemen work up through their double teams, seal off linebackers, a hat on a hat.
Jake Robinette had a great block that tied in there to seal that edge. It's a short gain, only picks up 2. It's 2nd and 8, but that clock is running 4:15 now and counting down. And if you're North Greenville, you can kind of see it at this point right now. The Argos are trying to basically just run this clock out, maybe put it in the end zone one more time.
Yep. Yep.
2nd down play coming. TJ Lane is the back in the backfield. Stokes moves him over a step closer. They'll just run that left side again. It feels like right now that left side is where the Argos feel they've got an advantage. And here comes another after the play penalty.
Yeah, that's and that's just where the frustration's coming from the guys on North Greenville. I mean, some of those seniors, season's coming to an end. Like you talked about, they won their conference. They've had a really good back half of the season. They felt really good coming into this game, and now that frustration is just coming out.
They were going to I was trying to see where they were going to mark this run. It was going to be down inside the 10, maybe to the 9-yard line or so. So it was going to be a short gain of 2, but then you're going to tack on half the distance and you get the automatic first down as they'll sort this out a little bit.
Unnecessary roughness. Defense, number 8. Half the distance to the goal, automatic, first down.
They're going to get Damon Early, who you've called his name a couple times today. He's played a good game, but that one gets you.
Yeah, that's just silly mistakes. You know, a guy putting his pride in front of the team, and we've all done it. We've all been there.
It's keeping your cool, right?
Yeah.
And when it's tough, it's not that easy. It's easy to say, hey, keep your cool, but you know, you're passionate.
Yeah.
You want to win.
You're all competitors.
You know that this is it. And for some of these guys, this could be their last football game. And I never lose sight of that.
No doubt.
It may be win or lose, you know, type thing. But especially if you lose now, maybe the last time that some of these guys put on the pads and suit up. And you know, that's a big deal.
The best advice I've ever heard, Will, whenever we were playing, was that every single person feels that feeling of playing their last game. Even when we won national championship in my senior year.
You knew it was it.
I knew that was it. I mean, that feeling doesn't leave you regardless of where it's at in the season.
Argos have been great from here. First down inside the 10, goal to go. They've been able to take full advantage of that today. Up 36-19 with 3:50 left. Can they do it again? TJ Lane bounces off the first guy, puts his head down, sticks it in the end zone, and the Argos do. TJ Lane's been a monster near their goal line all season long, and he puts the Argos into the blue end zones once again. What'd you see there on that play?
I mean, just I mean, the holes collapsed inside zone to the right. TJ Lane, I mean, great job keeping his eyes open, hitting it outside.
I would tell you that left side of the line, I want to shout out those guys over there. It's been Levi Johnson, Isaiah Walker, and then the center, Jabari Edwards. It feels like this whole drive was kind of run to the Argos left.
Yeah.
Tyler Patterson's been perfect on the day with the PATs. Let's see if he can complete it. Does it again. The Argos are going to run it out to 43-19 with 3:43 left, and we'll stretch the legs a little bit. We're up here in the booth, and it's I'll say it's not the most forgiving floor I've ever been on in my life, but you can kind of see over here. This is a lot of folks made the trip down from Tigerville, South Carolina, up in that area. It's near Clemson, not far away, and I know they were, excited, right? Because you haven't, as I mentioned, haven't been in the playoffs in 9 years since 2016. It's been almost a decade, and now, just kind of feeling it at the end. It makes it a long trip home, but before we even hit triple digits, I want to congratulate Coach Nate Garner, that staff, that team on what they've done up there with that program, especially in his first season, to win the Conference Carolinas title, to make the playoffs, and really to be, I know the final score is not going to show it. They've been competitive today.
Yeah, they have. They've had a lot of really good things to build off of. Defense has had some good stops. Offense has had some big plays. And really, UWF's special teams hasn't been – we talked about special teams, how explosive some of those plays can be. North Greenville's really kind of mitigated all those special teams plays.
Adam, if you could tell me again what you told me in my ear, I couldn't quite hear it. I appreciate that, Adam. We will get to Jordan Glass here in a minute. They will fair catch it again, so North Greenville is going to get another possession here starting at their own 25. That's been, as Devin said, there's something that they've seen that they don't want to try to go after it and return these kicks. Let's go check in with Jordan Glass down on the sideline for an injury update.
Yeah, guys, so keep an eye on this drive right here. Rich freshman offensive lineman Simon Peterson was the offensive lineman that went down last drive, spent the last few plays in the tent. He came out of the tent and sat on the bench. Looked like he had an ice pack on his lower leg. I'm scanning the field for him right now. Not quite sure he's back in. Looks like he's still on the sideline.
Yeah, wanted to get an update on that young man. We mentioned the offensive lineman from Denmark, Simon Peterson. Thank you, Jordan. So they'll go right back to it here on offense. Dylan Ramirez is going to have to air this football out. The Argos come up with it. Interception. And Ramirez has been so good all game. And Kobe Clinton, the GSC Defensive Player of the Year, comes up with a pick. And what a way to cap things for the Argos and for that young man, as I mentioned, just fought his way back into football, told me how much he missed it. You see Cavell Connor on the broadcast here, his linebacker coach / defensive coordinator who played in the NFL. I'm pretty sure, by the way, Cavell Connor, who played with the Colts and the Chargers, played against Nate Garner when they were in the NFL together. They're a little bit off year-wise, but Nate was there long enough. I don't know if they remember each other or not, but they're finding out today. And there's the belt on the TV broadcast, the turnover belt that you got to have. And Kobe Clinton, how about that young man? He's going to give his team the football back at the 46. And an opportunity here, literally, you can just run the game out on that side. Kobe Clinton coming into the game. 18 tackles for loss, 7 sacks. I mean, he comes up with a pick and basically a showcase to you why he is the GSC Defensive Player of the Year. Yeah, and we're starting to kind of see some new faces come in, too. Tony Bartolo has checked in the game, the backup quarterback. He hadn't played much this year because Marcus has been so good. So close the book on Marcus Stokes. Not his greatest day. 14 to 25, had a pick, threw for a touchdown, 214 yards, but it doesn't matter. What matters is, do you advance? Do you get to the next round? Didn't have to do it because 267 yards as of right now on the ground for this Argo rushing attack.
Yeah, and that's an extremely impressive stat line, just me personally.
You love it, don't you?
Yeah, and knowing that UWF doesn't run the ball, that's not their primary source of production.
Preston Godfrey checks into the game, the transfer from Mississippi College after they closed their program down over in Clinton. Picks up a couple of yards on the handoff from Tony Bartolo. Oliver, one of the linebackers, goes down, probably feeling it here in this humidity a little bit with the way he's throwing his body around. But how about this for Marcus? Not just the throwing. Marcus Stokes, no negative yards taken today, no sacks. He ran it 10 times for 48 yards and 2 touchdowns. So you throw that on to the passing, and you're 260-ish yards of total offense and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Very, very all-around good day. Maybe not the gaudy numbers we've seen. This is a kid, for those who haven't followed the Argos all year. I mean, 300-yard game, 6 touchdowns in multiple games, put himself into the Harlan Hill conversation. But today what matters is, do you advance your team? And he's done what he needed to do to make that happen.
Yeah, definitely. He's been able to supply some good balls. And these receivers have just been on fire, really. I mean, making incredible catches. We talked about Watkins Hogue just being able to be in there all over the field.
Yeah, he's going to have 1 catch for 54 yards and a touchdown, Kendrick, but recovers an onside kick. A couple really nice kick returns to set up the offense in good position. Has just been there, and you called it out, blocking down the field on plays.
Yeah, he's been a playmaker on all aspects of the game.
Corey Scott, 4 receptions, 57 yards. Tyree Holloway, 2 for 56, had a 47-yarder that kind of broke up and on a drive. It's one of those things where, you know, you're probably not going to see anybody catch another football here today. So we can close the book on the wide receivers, and it looks like Jay Sharp will finish with 10 carries, 138 yards and a touchdown. I like that easy math, 13.8 a carry.
Easy math.
But TJ as well, 20 for 83, 4.2 a carry. I mean, that's getting it done.
Yeah, that's a very good day for any running back across the board.
We sit at 2:12 left, approaching the 2-minute timeout. Argos are on top 43-19, in control of this game, up 24 points, about to seal it. Now this will be some, kind of new territory all the way around. Moved to 11-1 on the season, and another home playoff game coming. We'll take our 2-minute timeout with them. Argos up big in this one. This is NCAA playoff football on ESPN. Back with you here. 2 minutes left in this game. 43-19. UWF on top of North Greenville here in the first round of the NCAA Division II playoffs. Super Region 2. Will Kennedy, Devin Gibson with you. It's been an entertaining game, and before we can get a playoff, whistles blow. And we're kind of in that period of the game where the outcome is decided, obviously, at this point, although the Argos are going to take their 11th penalty of the game. Right now, we're still under 100 yards if you're an Argo fan. But just back it up a little bit. Or did they even throw the flag? Maybe they did. Maybe they reset something. So it'll be 3rd down and 12 here as the Argos, if they could pick up a first down, basically run the rest of the game out.
Yeah.
If they have to give it back to North Greenville, obviously you're going to try to close out by scoring. You can see the turf got to Preston Godfrey, the young running back right there. Preston's had some moments this season, but tough for that young man being behind the two guys that we were just referencing their stats, and TJ Lane and Jay Sharp. But his day will come. He's a young kid.
Agreed.
UWF has a mold, by the way, for those who haven't watched the Argos through the years. They have a mold at running back. It's not big dudes.
No, it's not. Small. Excuse me. Small, fast. I mean, we talk about Chris Schwartz way back in the day.
Shamari Mason.
Talk about Shamari Mason.
There's Ravian Hargrove who's on the staff here now. I mean, the ability to, have these guys that are quick in space.
Yep.
Other side of that coin, by the way, this defense for the Argos, let's talk about it for a second. 4 total rushing yards for North Greenville.
Yeah.
And they were behind, and they had to throw the football late. But they basically took the run away from the get-go for this North Greenville team, which is not a running team. Dylan Ramirez is their quarterback. He's the trigger man. But when you can't run the ball, you become one-dimensional, and that makes it a little easier for the defense.
Yeah, I totally agree, Will. I mean, it just becomes easy to defend when you know that the only success the team's going to have is in the air.
Mike Shine kind of hits this one side foot inside the 20 again. So it's what a punter's supposed to do. They're not all 50-yarders.
Yeah.
And 60-yarders in the air. This one, and look who's down there. Patrick Delacourt, Special Teams Player of the Year in the Gulf South Conference. All conference special teams. And that guy, Kendrick Watkins-Hogue, again, covering that kick and getting in there. So what a great job by the special teams unit. The Argos have, I'll tell you what, the penalties are still a little bit of an issue, 10 for 85, but they've cleaned up a lot of the special teams stuff today.
Yeah, they definitely have. And they've really cleaned up the penalties just from the first quarter. I mean, I think we had 4 or 5 penalties in the first quarter. So we're kind of stretching those out a little bit, but luckily it didn't cost us, scores or games or the game or anything like that.
Ramirez brings it back out there. It looks like they are just going to hand the football off and try to run it a little bit and pad those running stats and maybe get into double digits, which they will with that run. First down run right there. Nice job. I was trying to see who jumped in there. 23. We've got a new running back in the game. I think I have him on my 2 deep. Got to dive in there. 23 is Keeman O'Sullivan, running back, a transfer from Robert Morris. Gets a first down, and so they'll move the sticks a little bit. Ramirez back to it, hand it off again. O'Sullivan gets it. The Argos will bottle him up a little bit. So you want to get out of here now. Obviously, you see some different numbers out there.
Yeah.
No injuries if you're the Argos. You've been here before. It's a reset quickly for the next opponent, and unlike in the regular season where you've maybe had a chance to do a little bit of advanced scouting on somebody, they're going to have to figure out a pretty good Newberry team they won their 10th game today. It's going to be 2 11-1 football teams are coming into that the next week here, the 2 seed, the 3 seed. It's going to be a battle.
Yeah, they'll start scouting. I mean, they've been probably scouting these teams a little bit, but they'll hardcore go after Newberry starting probably tonight. Digest this game, go over all of the P's and Q's of this game with everybody, and then immediately we're starting on Newberry. We're diving off into film and coverages and stuff like that.
There's no victory Mondays. This isn't the NFL, and I'll tell you, this coaching staff, and this is the same, I'm sure, for North Greenville. For the Argos, they'll be right here in the Gooden Center, which is in the south end zone tomorrow. Busy getting going. Players are in. They got meetings. They'll get right back to – and you don't change your schedule, even though it's Thanksgiving week, as they'll run it again here left side. O'Sullivan gets chopped down over there by one of the Argo defenders coming up making a play. Yeah, you're not going to change your schedule and the way you do things. You're going to get after it and just kind of keep things the same so that there's a routine.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna treat it like every other game week, but with the notion knowing that you're able to play at home, you have the advantage there, and you're going to start like we've talked about. You're going to start scouting. You're going to start watching film really early.
We're down to 30 seconds left. 43-19 Argos on top of this one, about to close out a home playoff victory, the first one since 2022, first playoff victory since 2022 for this short-lived but very proud program. Big hit at the end of this play.
Ball went flying.
Yeah, ball did come flying out. So the Argos are going to, the clock will stop here. Seal a win. It's a big one for that guy on the screen, Coach Caleb Nobles, your friend, former teammate.
Yep.
A guy that coached you as a graduate assistant too. This one feels good because the last time, his playoff experience as the head coach was a rough one at Delta a couple seasons ago. So I know this will help get the taste of Valdosta loss last week and that Delta loss back in 23 out of his mouth a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. It's it's a big game as far as confidence, knowing that where we were at in the middle of the season playing North Greenville, and now where they've come. So they've got to feel good about where they're headed.
Let me talk about Coach Nate Garner. I've really enjoyed getting to talk to him a little bit. Small world, by the way. He played for the Miami Dolphins. He played at Arkansas before that, so I'll forgive him for that. But his wife is from Gulf Breeze, Florida, right here just across a couple miles away across a bridge in Pensacola Bay. He said he's got a house, and there he is right there. You can see him on the sideline if we get a shot. Big guy with the hat over there talking to the officials. There's Coach Garner. He's got a house in downtown Pensacola, right around the corner from my house here in Pensacola. So really, I think he's doing some great things up at North Greenville after being the offensive line coach at Limestone before they closed that university down, and he stepped into Jeff Barrington's shoes, who was the coach at North Greenville for 12 seasons and really helped build the program up. And now he's kind of taking it next level. So they'll finish 7-5, but the back half of the season, as I mentioned, they were really good after a rough start. They got a lot to carry into next season. Now the trick for North Greenville is who's going to be your quarterback next year, because Dylan Ramirez leaves some big shoes to fill. He's good today, 19 of 31 for 289, 2 touchdowns, did throw the 1 pick.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, they've got a freshman in Preston Ratliff right behind Dylan Ramirez, so we haven't seen him at all
He threw
today.
2 passes all year.
Yeah.
That's going to be. So now the portal changes things.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, you go find a guy that you can maybe bring in there. As you well know, a young guy that led, we referenced him earlier, Austin Reed, you guys to a 2019 national championship, was at Southern Illinois, found his way back home to Florida, to Pensacola, and the rest is history. So North Greenville, I'm sure, will be looking around. You got to in this day and age. And the Argos will finish it out. There's 8 seconds left. They get the punt here. Tony Newsom fields that punt, and then they got 8 seconds. They'll take a knee. Victory formation is the best formation. It feels so good.
I think this puts UWF 8-0 against North Greenville.
Yes, never lost to them. There's a couple of teams like that.
Yeah.
There's a few that they need to fix that on, but they won't see one of those again, because we'll give you the scores from around the region. Adam and guys in the booth, if you can get those scores together and update them real quick for us, we'll do that as we wrap out a post game, just so everybody can see what's going on in Super Region 2. I know Ferris, by the way, defending national champs, who beat Valdosta for the title last year. Big win for them today as they roll in the first round, but it's what you expect. Congratulations to those guys on your screen here on the guys in blue. They're green. There's Coach Caleb Nobles with Jordan Rimsa walking out. Argos get the win. They moved to 10-1 on the season. They had, more importantly, advanced to the second round. And handshake with Coach Nate Garner. As it's disappointment for the Trailblazers. They'll head back up to South Carolina, but they came down on Thursday. They got to enjoy a little bit of Pensacola. Maybe not so much here on a Saturday in the game.
Yeah.
Would you go with me on? I would say, I was gonna say Kendrick Watkins, Hogue player of the game. Let's do co-players of the game. I thought Jay Sharp right there. Yeah, you got to put those two together. And defensively, obviously on that side of the football, Jacoby Clinton does it every week. 7 tackles, interception. I mean, just flying around and leading this defense. And Argos get the big win to move on to the second round of the playoffs. Let's take a look, if we can, at the scoreboard. Once we have that ready, we'll get that up. And while we're waiting on it, I'll just kind of take a peek in there. And we still had a couple games going. How about that? It just ended. Benedict comes back. Coach Ron Dickerson Jr. and the Benedict.
Oh, my goodness.
Benedict College beat Wingate. Wingate was up.
Was not expecting that.
17-0. And so, wow, you're going to get a SIAC rematch. Benedict and Albany State are going to play for the 3rd time this season. That happens at the D2 level, unlike any other thing. And they'll get an opportunity as Valdosta gets knocked off by the #1 team, Albany State. And then the Argos are going to advance. It's going to be you look at the scores in those two games, very similar. West Florida here beating North Greenville 43-19, and then Newberry on top of Kentucky State 45-24. A dogfight, as they say. And we think back to 2021 when the Argos started the season ranked #1, defending national champs, and then found a way to lose a first-round playoff game to Newberry right here at home. This will be in the second round. This will be a little bit different. Stakes on the line, but, man, it's going to be a good one here. That'll be next Saturday, I believe, a 1 o'clock kick, and we'll be right back here on ESPN and on the radio with you on ESPN Pensacola. Devin, appreciate you as always, my man. You in for next week?
I'm here, babe.
I'll get Devin Gibson back with us. We appreciate all you listening and watching. For Argo Nation, for the North Greenville fans, what a great season. Celebrate your successes, and I think you're going to do some great things next year under Coach Nate Garner. That'll wrap it up for us. Some of us are going to get on a plane and go to Dallas, Texas. My sister's getting married at 6 o'clock. I'm not going to make it, but I'll get there for the post-game festivities, as they say. For Devin Gibson, for Jordan Glass on the sideline, Adam and Owen in the control room, all the guys out here running the cameras. What a great crew. The best in the business always, no matter who's doing what. We appreciate you guys and the folks at ESPN as well. Thank you, and we'll sign off here. Argos win 43-19 the final.